confident? Are you confident against us?
I am confident. We're going to beat
And what
you.
is that based on?
Because we're better than you. What do you mean, what is it based on? We're better than you. You are in for trouble on Thursday. I'm telling you this, and I'm willing to put money on this. We are going to beat you on Thursday. I'm so sure we're going to beat you on Thursday.
How many goals? What's the score then? What's the score going to be?
I think we're going to beat you 3-1. We're going to put goals past you. And I'm really going to enjoy it. I'm really, really going to enjoy it.
Oh, what the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? I'm pissing about a fucking microphone. I'm fucking pissing the fuck. Go! Oh! 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 Yes! Oh, yes! Oh, my God! West Ham 2, Tottenham 1. 1-0 down. 2-1 up. Oh, yes! Oh, yes! We did it! 3-1, they said! 3-1! Yes! Yes!
West Ham. Bruv. West Ham were not even good. They weren't even good yesterday. They were under the cosh for most of the game. When you're gifting the opposition goals and you're not turning your territorial dominance into chances, you're always going to run the risk of dropping points in this Prem. How many times have I said this league is unforgiving? It is unforgiving.
Oh, where is your Robbie Williams now? And through it, oh, he plays terrorist football against Ange Postecoglou, whether it's right or wrong. He won't forsake me. I'm loving Dave Moyes instead.
Yes.
Oh, God.
Oh, brilliant.
Well done, Sam. Well done. 3-1, he said. 3-1. He left out my prediction.
Big up, Sam, by the way. That was a great edit, man. Skullfuggery would be proud. I'll tell you that. Fair play to you, man. Big up, everybody. Big up, everyone, for being here. Make sure you do us a favor. There's over 200 of you already in the house here for what we're going to be a lit show. LB is going to be with us. Danny's going to be with us. Don't worry. There's no Pete tonight and no Maz tonight, but the guys are in the house. Let's start with Tobs and Lawless. We've got Billy in the house and Errol as well. Tobs, big up for coming on, man. I know you're not going to be here for too long, but I appreciate you jumping on before Big Six, my friend. I'm going to start with you, man, because Lawless is laughing. He's laughing very hard after beating Spurs. But I'm sure yesterday put a smile on your face as a Spurs fan winning, but also with West Ham that got absolutely destroyed. So we'll let Lawless have, a chat in a minute. But Tobes, your thoughts on the last few days, my friend?
Yeah, man. I was very cocky. About us beating West Ham, and I don't regret it. I know we lost the game. Obviously, he's going to try and dunk on me, but I don't regret it because, as we've seen over the past couple of days, this is not a good footballing side. They may have good football players, for sure, that are capable of playing better, but they're not a good side. And I'm delighted that we battered Newcastle, but I'm also a bit annoyed that we weren't as incisive against West Ham, because if we had even 20% more incision added to the West Ham performance, we'd be talking about West Ham the same way we're going to talk about Newcastle at our ground. This shit team didn't do fuck all in that game. They didn't come to win, and he knows it as well. So he's probably going to talk and he's going to dunk on me, but they did not come there to win a game of football. They couldn't believe their luck with the 2 goals that they were gifted. The first one was ridiculous ricochet. When do you even see that shit happen in football? And the second one was just lax play from Destiny, literally gift wrapped. He assisted James Ward-Prowse. So in the end of the day, I can only blame ourselves. Like, he's obviously going to come out and puff his chest. They could have beaten us 3-1 for like it. They're not a good footballing outfit. And everyone can see that this season. They're not. And he knows it. They are not, right? But I can only blame ourselves for not punishing a poor team and letting another team off the hook. I said this a couple of weeks back against Aston Villa. We should have been out of sight against Aston Villa in the first half. We don't punish them. They get a goal at half time, and then second half they put their foot on the ball and they actually play better than us, and they go on and win the game of football. West Ham, familiar story. I wouldn't even say they were anywhere near as incisive as Aston Villa were, right? But this is what happens when you leave the game 1-0 for so long. You open up the possibility for the opposition to get back into the game. And what annoys me about that West Ham game is it's not. Don't get it twisted. They were definitely better in the second half in comparison to the first, but they didn't even do that much to get back into the game. It was just stupid goals to give away, and it's giving a team that really has no right to speak on Spurs chest. It's giving them bass in their voice. So I'm gonna shut up now. I'm not gonna talk on Newcastle just yet. I want to hear what he has to say about the Spurs game, and I want to hear how he somehow shamelessly pretends as if this has been a positive week for West Ham. Go on.
Boom. Lovely. Let's go. By the way, you left out my prediction. Does anyone remember the scoreline I predicted on the show? You remember? Yep. I said 2-1. And what happened? It was 2-1. You was not having it. You was like, nah, we're gonna battle West Ham. This is gonna be dominance from Spurs. You know what I mean? You have never won at our ground. You won once in our ground in 4 years. Well, we've just added another one, haven't we? We've just added another one. The fortress that is New White Hart Lane. Yeah, we come there and we got the win. And yeah, we started slowly. Of course, we started slowly. You had your little moments, but you know what the funny thing is? You know what makes me laugh? Yeah, you talk about us not being a good football inside, and you're this great football inside. I remember Cass said it, called a set piece FC last week. You know what the funny thing is? For all your silky tiki-taka football, you scored a shithouse set piece, and we scored 2 goals from open play, right? So let's just have that right off the bat. Now,
open play. Did you create any of those goals?
Do you know how we created them? And this is the thing that you've missed out.
Answer my question. Did you create any of the goals you scored? If the answer is no, then how? How did you create it?
Well, look at how the chances started. Look where it came from. We pressed. It was our pressing that created those opportunities. We forced those errors. We put you under pressure. We started pressing in the second half, and that's what put you under pressure.
So first you said, oh, you scored from a set piece. At least we created our chances. So I asked you a question.
I said at least we scored from open play, which is a fact.
Well, yeah, you scored from
those set piece goals.
You scored from open play because we gifted you goals. You had one crazy fortuitous goal, and the second one was gift wrap. Outside of that, you had one chance the rest of the game.
We pressed you and put you under pressure and forced those errors. They were forced errors.
They weren't forced. The first goal was literally a shot from Kudos that pinballed, blocked by Romero, pinballed off Ben Davies. How did you press us? That doesn't even make sense. I can understand.
But that's how we were winning the ball back high up the pitch, and then Kudos was able to get that shot in, and Bowen was in the right place. His movement, his positioning was on point, so he was able to capitalize. The second goal kick from Fabianski high up the pitch. You get the ball. We pressed you.
Not mine. We shithoused 3 points. Those are your words. Those are your words. They're not my words. I'm not even blaming West Ham for winning. I literally just said at the start, we can only look inwards because we didn't use the ball well enough that you are boisterous, right? Because we didn't do our job with the dominance that we had, you are boisterous. And even in the second half, when we weren't even that good, Richarlison came on and missed an absolute sitter. But again, back on you. You speak. Talk up your team.
And I've heard on this channel for a long time, if you play shit and win, it means you're a good team. Yeah, we played shit and we won. We didn't come there for a win. We got one anyway. So what does that mean for Spurs? That a team that apparently didn't come there looking to win won. It means that you ain't as good. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. You ain't good. And I told you, that we are a perfect team to play against Spurs. You said that our defense would not be able to cope with your attack. When I told you, do you think that your defense is going to be able to soak up the pressure from our attack? Do you think you're going to be able to stop us from scoring? And I was like, yeah.
Did you stop us from scoring?
You scored a set piece. So at the end of the day, it weren't your saucy attack, was it? What did Son do?
Yeah, he can't.
What did Kulusevski do?
Kulusevski wasn't his end product wasn't great. Listen, the attack had an off day, so you can gloat. As I said, enjoy your win, enjoy your cup final. This is what you want. Enjoy your cup final, right? Because the exact same defense played against a team that we flogged at our ground. You played Fulham at Craven Cottage, and the exact same defense got brutalized.
What does that say about What does that say about Spurs then? What does that say about Spurs that you could only put one set piece goal past us and Fulham could put 5?
It says that checks notes. It says that Spurs are 5th in the table, have scored 33 Premier League goals, and are on 30 points. That's what it says. That's literally what it says.
So you're 6 points above West Ham, right? At that time before, we shouldn't even be speaking about the Fulham and Newcastle games because the whole point was you coming on here to talk about the Spurs game. That was the bet.
Yeah, are we not speaking about the Spurs West Ham game?
And you're lucky. You're lucky I didn't take you up on that financial bet and took more money out of your pocket after I took money off you for the Son bet. Yeah. You're lucky.
Listen,
I cared about your pocket.
You don't care about shit. You don't care about anything. You are just, you know what it is? You're just a pussy. That's why, right? You didn't want to put money down because you didn't believe your team were going to win despite your test. Because if you believed that you were going to win, you would have taken the bet. The same way you took the bet for the Son Haaland bet. You did not believe that West Ham were going to win. You just put up a front because you're on YouTube and it's me. That's why. Because if you really believed it, you would have bet on it.
Because the thing is, I was like, I don't need your money. I need your presence. Yeah, I need your presence. So keep your money. If we win, you come on this show and you take your beatings. Yeah, you take the cooking that you deserve for having so much chest against West Ham.
To be fair to Tobs, though, he did say in the event that Tottenham lose, he will come back on the show today.
Yeah, that was the bet.
He did say that. So he's a man. He's honoured it in that respect.
Yes, I can't hold that against him. I can't hold him on his word, but I will hold him against his ridiculous foresight and his ridiculous predictions and underestimating West Ham United.
Wait, can I ask a question? Why is it ridiculous, right? You and your fans want this guy out, right? You have bitched and moaned all season about how you don't play good football. You have bitched and moaned about how he doesn't maximize your squad. Right, your away form this season has actually been relatively good, to be fair, in comparison to your home form. But you're not a side that Spurs should be fearful of playing. I don't understand. I've seen this team go to the Emirates and get something. Go to Man City and get something. Fortuitously, yes, but we still got something, right? We've played Liverpool, we've won. Again, fortunate circumstances, but we've won. Played Man United, won. We've played tougher sides than West Ham. So I'm not going to come here and apologize to you for being confident that we could beat.
You know what you should apologize for? Looking at it at a surface level. You're looking at it at a surface level because what I told you, because it had nothing to do with us being as good. I told you, you think because you fucking got a draw against Man City, your chest is at your confidence is up. But I told you, we're a different type of team. Yeah, styles make fights. Yeah,
I don't care.
We are a counter-attacking side, and I said
we beat counter-attacking sides already this season.
Well, you didn't beat this one, did you? You didn't beat this one.
We didn't. So are we gonna? And we didn't. And we were literally explaining why Spurs didn't win. It wasn't because you were good. It's because we shot ourselves in the foot and you capitalized. And that's
did I say we would be good? Did I say that we would be good against Spurs? Did any of that my rationale was going to be we're going to beat Spurs because we'll be good?
But then doesn't that defeat the whole purpose of the argument then?
Because you can win without it. Doesn't matter if you're good or not. What matters is the result. And I told you, you will have the possession. Okay. I said you'd have that possession.
Okay, so by your logic then, that win is a win for West Ham, but you're basically saying that Spurs are better than West Ham. That's what I'm hearing here. Because you just said that win. That's
we were better in front of goal. We were better in front of goal, and we were better in defense.
I just want to clarify. So you said that you weren't going to be the better team. You're going to come there and get a result. So I just want you to quantify what that means. Are you saying that you acknowledge that Spurs are a better side, but on the day West Ham have got a result? Yes or no? That's all I'm asking. Is that what you're saying?
What I'm saying is, here's what I'm saying. Overall, the balance of play, you had the ball. You had
you had the chances, but guess what? We were better where it counts. In front of your goal and in front of our goal, we were better. Were we better in front of our goal and your goal? Were we better? Were we? I think we were, because the scoreline suggests that we were better in those two key areas.
So
you had the midfield. Yeah, you can't score in the midfield unless you're Wayne Rooney.
Your midfield was non-existent. Your front three up outside of Bowen stunk, right? But because you got 2 dummy goals and we were poor in the final third, you are boisterous. I get it. I came out with chest, so you want to dunk, but let's just be black and white. You have enjoyed watching our team more than you've enjoyed watching your own damn team this season, and that's a fact. You've spoken highly about Ange Postecoglou. You have been waxing lyrical about this guy all season. You have enjoyed watching Tottenham matches more than West Ham, a team that you hate, right? And then you would think you scumbag 3 points, your chest is out, you're thinking, okay, cool, let's get back on winning ways. And you get absolutely pasted by Fulham. Playing checks notes, the same football you played against Spurs. You know what the difference was? Because I saw those Fulham finishes. The difference was Fulham had their shooting boots on Sunday.
Right? Shooting boots. It's not that they've got a better attack than Spurs right now. It's they had the shooting boots on. And yeah, do you know what? I've been enjoying watching Spurs the last 5 weeks.
Where was that Fulham attack so by your logic, then where was that Fulham attack when they played Tottenham? If it's better, where was it? Where was it when they played us?
Listen, it's a new. Listen, they've lost players. They're getting up to speed slowly but surely. But like I said, 16 goals
twice this season. We played them twice this season. One at their ground, one at our ground. Cup game with basically half the team rotated out, and the league game with basically a fully fit team. And in both those games, Fulham scored 1 goal past our defense. But you just said they've got a better attack than Spurs right now. Make it make sense.
Clearly. And the thing is, I feel like you're overhyping Spurs, because when you look at the form table, right? Let's look at currently. In fact, Fulham are a better team. Fulham are a better form team than Spurs, because you're ignoring form. Prior to Newcastle, how many wins did you have in your last 5 games?
None.
Exactly. So I've been enjoying watching your team pick up 0 wins. That's what I've been enjoying.
That's not what I said.
Don't sit here and act like you're this
winning games. The difference between me and you is I came here on the show last week confident we beat you off the back of defeats, because I'm watching our team play and I'm seeing us be in games and be taking the game to the opposition. And that Newcastle game, that's what should have happened to you. That's what should have happened to you. Yeah, it didn't. I'm not saying it did. I'm saying that's what should have happened to you. And any logical football fan, not just Spurs fan, any logical football fan who's been watching Tottenham the last couple of weeks would have known that result was a long time coming, right? Some team was going to get a beat down, right? We've created way too many. You can shake your head all you want. We have created way too many openings and chances and had dominance in a fair share of our matches in recent weeks, and we have not got what we deserved. We haven't. So that Newcastle game was a long game coming, and you should just be fortunate that our attack had an off day, right? You can talk your talk now. I'm gonna come back on this show in a couple months' time when we play our ground, and we're gonna beat you at your ground.
You mean at our ground? You mean at our ground?
That's what I just said. Yeah. I said I'm gonna come back on this show when we're playing you at your ground, and we're going to beat you at your ground. You can enjoy it.
You don't do it.
That's fine. If I don't do it, I'll be back. If I don't do it, I'll be back. If I don't do it, I'll be back here. Right?
Yeah. You are going to have to live with this result for the rest of your life, because you like history.
Bro,
what does that even mean?
Come on, man.
Do you know what that means? No, do you know what that means? Because the amount of times you like to bring up how many times we've won at your ground. Well, now that you're going to have to add an extra time to it. Do you know what I mean? You loved saying you've only won at our ground in this many times and blah blah blah. add an extra one to that, yeah. So that's always going to be there.
Lawless, I've lived through Lasagna Gate. I've lived through you lot apparently ending our title charge at your ground.
Doing the double, the treble.
Yeah,
you're doing the treble.
Yeah. Your cup final double. Yeah, great. I've lived through. Your cup final treble. Fine, cool. I've lived through Spurs losing to West Ham. What I'm telling you is, I'm confident in us being a better side than you. That the next time we play you, we're gonna beat you because you got off scot-free. You got off scot-free the other day because of our undoing, right? You defended well, but you did not play a good game of football in possession. So what I'm saying,
but you're assuming by that time we won't have picked up. You're assuming a lot of things. We didn't have Zuma, by the way. We didn't have Antonio. All right, so we were missing players.
Not Zuma yesterday.
Whoa. Did I not see that cat kicker? That cat kicker interviewing on your channel, on your club's channel.
Yeah, Zuma was there yesterday. He had to be subbed off because he's just come back from illness. There's a big illness going around.
And he was shit.
Oh, really? And he got I did see this. I saw this.
Yeah, he did get dunked on, man. He did get dunked on.
He got dunked on yesterday.
He got a virus.
Errol, do you know what's hilarious? He's talking about virus. Yeah. Till this day. Till this day, him and the Coxie Tin Pot fans, they talk about Lasagna Gate. Oh, we ended your top four charge. We ended your top four charge. They didn't give two shits that literally the entire team was decimated with food poisoning. If you've ever had food poisoning, you know how horrific food poisoning is. So can you imagine playing a 90-minute Premier League football match whilst having food poisoning?
I never saw the test results.
Context did not apply. Context did not apply to these jammy. Context did not apply to these jammy bastards when it happened, but they want me. He wants me to apply context.
Can I just say, we didn't just stop you getting top four. We stopped you getting Roman Abramovich. Let's have it right. We stopped you getting Roman Abramovich taking over your club.
No, you stopped us getting top four.
Because if you got top four,
Lawless, you will take anything. Like, you will take anything.
No, it's true.
It's a fact. You will take it, man.
It's a fact. It was between Chelsea and Spurs. Whichever team got top four, Roman was buying. And
can I ask you a question?
We were competing with Arsenal.
Go on, Errol.
Let me just ask this, because I know we haven't really spoke on it much this season, back and forth. Richarlison, is he the guy now to fill the boots of Harry Kane?
No, he isn't. And I never felt he was the guy to fill.
No, I know you never. I know you never. But of what you've seen so far this season, has he given you more reasons to believe he can bridge the gap?
He's not. I like Richarlison as a person, but he's poor, man. He's poor. He's not good enough for Tottenham. So
he ain't doing it. He ain't doing it.
I'm happy. I'm happy with what he did against Newcastle. I think Newcastle, he played well. He worked his socks off, and he actually scored goals, not just goals with his feet, because that's something he has never done in a Spurs shirt. Score goals with his feet. So
we talk on your shit goalkeeper as well, because that guy has so much fucking attitude and chest.
What did you just say?
Yeah, can we speak on him? Because that guy, the way he was giving it to Callum Wilson.
Wait. Are you all right?
No, I'm talking about, because in our game, that's what you're talking about. Normal? Lucky, he shit goalkeeping cost you a goal. He shit goalkeeping.
No. A shit back pass from our left back.
What was that? He punched out. Why is he Superman in the ball on the floor? He put it into the pathway.
We're not going to do this.
He put it into our pathway, and then he's giving it to Callum Wilson like he's Mr. Big Bollocks. What's all that about?
Do you know why this is funny? Because I don't even need to speak on Vicario.
He was well out of position.
I don't even need to talk up the things with Vicario. Spurs have played so many matches on TV, so I don't need to speak. Everyone here should know. Everyone here should know what Vicario is on this season. He has easily been one of the best goalkeepers in the Prem this season, and that is.
Lawless, do you still think Areola's had a better season than Vicario?
you can try and dunk. It's not going to work. It's not going to
work.
work.
I'm just saying. Don't you think?
Has he been better than Vicario?
I think Vicario basically was one of the players that cost Spurs that loss against us.
Answer his question.
And then what does he go and do? What?
Answer his question.
Areola's been injured.
When they were fit.
When they were fit, you know, like I said, it was one of them.
Okay,
I think Areola's had a good
season. He's chatting shit. He can't give a straight answer. He can't look me in the face. This guy is a bullshitter. You can't bullshit a bullshitter, bro.
No, but we're not talking about that. Potts is trying to hijack it and bring his own side thing. What I'm saying is,
hijack anything. You mentioned Vicario.
I ain't taking sides. I'm with Lawless. I wanted West Ham to win.
No, but I'm just saying, if you have a disaster class like he did against us, you need to keep your head down. Don't be giving it Billy big bollocks like Billy down here against Callum Wilson.
Wait. Sorry.
Why was he giving it?
Who did he give it large to against West Ham?
Callum Wilson.
Does he play
against West Ham?
No, what I'm saying is, after the disaster class against us, yeah, you need to spend a few weeks just redeeming yourself, getting yourself back to where you need to be.
What?
Why is he thinking he's the guy? Why are you acting like him?
This is why I don't know why you speak. Why do you speak like
lucky Callum Wilson didn't give him a slap?
So why do you speak like a Neanderthal? It's unbefitting of you, right? You are too smart to speak. You are too smart to speak like a simpleton. So that's the first point. Second point, right? You're mentioning Newcastle. You just told me 10 minutes ago. Why are you mentioning Newcastle? Stick to West Ham. Right, so that's the second point. The third point, you don't even know why. You don't even know why he was doing what he was doing, right? Callum Wilson was the antagonist in the situation. He started the beef, right? He started the beef. He nudged. I think it was either Vicario or someone else. He nudged. So on top of that, Callum Wilson is the same guy. On top of that, so Callum Wilson started. Callum Wilson was the guy who started the passer on the day. Second of all, Callum Wilson has been going at Richarlison
to pass it in this space.
Callum Wilson has been going at Richarlison on his podcast for yonks, right? And then third of all, Callum Wilson is a disrespectful prick who scored a ridiculous goal against Spurs, courtesy of a penalty a couple years back, right? And his interview was so crass, it lacked respect. And he has the audacity to go on a post-match press conference and say, and talk about, he lacks respect. No, you lack respect. You try to badmouth one of our players. You try to start beef on a football pitch, and you got pammed like your team 4-1. Don't talk about lack of respect. You need to respect yourself and stop bringing bullshit onto our football pitch. Score goals or shut your fucking mouth. Yeah, he is a dickhead. Great. In fact, not even great. Good little striker. I got all the respect for Callum Wilson as a Premier League striker. He is a very good Prem striker, but as a person, he's a dickhead, and he shouldn't be talking about lack of respect. He's a
Tobs. Callum Wilson's won because you're getting wound up by him. This is what he does.
I am getting wound up.
He winds up opposition fans. This is what he does. This is what
he's a hypocrite. Where does he even get off about lack of respect? He's got the as I said it this morning, he's got the self-awareness of a fish. You're talking about lack of respect, yet you're hopping on podcasts bashing other Premier League players. Allow it, man.
Well, man. Let me quickly finish on West Ham before I bring Pete in. Big up Pete for coming on, man. So I know you got a busy night. Lawless, it all went wrong yesterday, man. What the hell happened? You have a big laugh, and then it's like David Moyes is back, and he want him out again. Not that you've said that to me today, but what the hell was that all about? That was embarrassing, bro. That was embarrassing.
Before he goes in, can you just remind me what the end of Sam's edit was? What was he singing about David Moyes? What song were you singing about Moyes? And what's that end song?
Robbie Williams,
I'm loving David Moyes or something like that. Is that what you were singing?
I'm loving Dave Moyes instead. Yeah.
Yeah, sing it again then. Sing it now. You still loving him?
No, listen. That was just me mocking your stupid Robbie Williams and Postecoglou song. I was just mocking you lot. Mocking it.
Oh, really? Did you hear what? Did you see Iwobi's video after your game?
Iwobi?
Yeah, Iwobi.
After Fulham. No, I didn't see Iwobi's video.
Fulham.
I didn't watch
Fulham. There's a rapper who brought out a song. He says, something like West Ham about to burst their bubble. And boy, was your bubbles burst.
What a shit lyric. What is it? Could he be more creative than burst in the bubble? Like, what is this rapper? You couldn't think of anything else. Like,
you sing a song about bubbles and you're talking about shit lyrics.
Yeah, but it's so obvious.
Houses.
Like, it's obvious. It's obvious, isn't it? Oh, we're gonna burst their bubble.
You've got a bubble machine in your ground. I've said this a billion times. Where do you get off about that trying to poke fun at other people? You literally have a bubble machine.
Badge is a fucking chicken on a fucking ball.
It's hilarious, man. It's hilarious. Sorry, go on. I interrupted you. Go on.
You can't diss our bubble machine.
Yeah, that's fine. Sorry, let me shut up now. I want you to dissect your pumping, your 5-0 pasting by Fulham. Go on. Tell me. Talk.
Listen, we started really fucking well. I'm gonna say that. First 10-15 minutes was some of the best I've seen us play.
Oh my god, you won the 15 minutes. Wow.
All season. But like Spurs, we just couldn't finish. We didn't have our shooting boots on. And then first 15 minutes when we was on top. And then the starting lineup was wrong. Fornals on the left wing, pointless when you've got fucking Maxwell Cornet, who's a proper left winger on the bench who doesn't get to see any games. You've got Said Benrahma, right, who is a proper left winger who doesn't get to play any games.
He's mid.
Well, whether he's mid or not, he's a proper left winger, right? And he can create. And he's better than Fornals right now. So there's your first problem. You know, for a start, is Fornals in that position. That was completely wrong. He's just shoehorning players in. Obviously, we lost Alvarez.
What is his fault then?
Big part of it is his fault. We lost Alvarez, which isn't his fault. That was a massive loss, huge loss. Alvarez.
Would have lost with him.
We would have lost with him.
Yeah, you would have.
I can't discount the virus. I can't discount that and say that's not a factor.
You did a couple of years ago. You did about 20 years ago. So what's changed now?
See what I said when I said this result's going to be with you for the rest of your life because you love it. You love bringing up this old shit, don't you? You love it.
You said I can't discount the virus. So I said I'm asking a question. What has changed in 20 odd years that you suddenly now care about teams having sickness before they play the direct opposition? What's changed?
Because we've had ours confirmed. Yours was a rumor. Your lasagna was a rumor. That's a rumor.
It wasn't a rumor. Players have spoken about it. Multiple players have spoken about it.
Oh, the play. Yeah. It's a likely story when you
shouldn't believe the players. They
news of our virus came out before the game, by the way. That was talked about before the game.
It was ours. What does that even mean?
We've lost Areola, by the way, who's our best goalkeeper as well. Let's not forget. We had Aaron Creswell at left back. That's another thing. Because this is the thing. If Emerson's on the bench, and I've said this, if he is good enough to be on the bench, he's fit enough to be on the bench, he's fit enough to start. Start Emerson, who has been brilliant this season. And if he can't hack it for a while, then take him off. Don't start flipping Creswell. And then we go 3-0 down. And then you start bringing on Mavropanos and go 3 at the back. What? Like, again, the substitutions made no sense.
Can you answer this question? Can you answer this question, Lawless? This is a quality question. Does Lawless prefer beating Spurs or winning the Declan Derby?
This is the thing, right? You're asking me now. Yeah, you're asking me this. Now I'm obviously going to say Spurs. It depends on the day. Now it's obviously Spurs. I'm dealing with Tobs right now. So it could be different on any given day.
It'll switch around in a couple of months. Well, not even in a couple of months, in a couple of games. You got us soon.
Yeah, so when Arsenal fans start piping up, and I'm going to actually be back in that one on today. But then I'm going to say that one as well. Will we? Oh, yeah? Yeah? Yes. That's your little hope. You're clinging on because you're so salty. You can't it burns you so much that you're hoping your North London rivals beat us.
I'm not hoping for anything. I've told you already we're going to beat you at your ground, and I'm just stating
you told us you'd beat us at your ground.
Do you believe that you're going to go to Arsenal and win?
Listen, I don't believe so. We might get a point. You never know.
Why are you arguing with me? Why are you arguing with me?
Because it's the way that you're sitting there. Oh no, you're not going to win. Like because you're so.
You're not going to win. What do you mean? You're not going to win. So
at the end of the day,
said the same thing. You've just said the same thing.
I don't believe so. But I'm not talking in absolutes like you. You're talking in absolutes.
What is the difference between saying I don't think you're going to win and you don't believe so?
No. You didn't say you didn't think. You said we're not going to win. You spoke in
You're
absolutes.
not going to win. You are not winning that game of football. You're going to the Emirates, one of the toughest grounds in the league, and you are not good enough to go there and win.
Right.
You're not going
Tobs
to
has said it. Everyone put your money on West Ham winning because Tobs has said we're not going to win.
That's fine. I've said.
Right, let me move this, man. Let me move this. So,
No. Before you do, Potts, I've said this for the last 2-3 seasons, right? That whenever Arsenal have played West Ham at the Emirates, I said last season you're going to lose, you lost. I said the season before you're going to lose, you lost. You lost.
Yeah, they're jammy. They're always jammy. Like
what's jammy? You get beat
down,
shut
up. We've never been jammy in Emirates against you.
Listen, I've watched a lot of fucking games at the Emirates. Yeah, every single one we've played, and I have seen us get robbed there. I have seen the jammiest of the jammiest.
He's talking about jammy. Honestly, what planet do you live on? How dare you complain about teams getting jammy goals against you? What planet do you live on? What's wrong with you?
You just couldn't.
That's shameless, man.
Am I going crazy here, guys? Like, what is wrong with this guy? He's just talking about jamminess. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but you're sitting there saying we will beat you at your ground after you said you would beat us at your ground.
Yeah,
and now you're sticking your chest out. If I was you, humble yourself.
I'm not humbling shit. You got pasted 5-0. I'm not humbling shit. You got pasted 5-0 by Fulham. You let Raul Jimenez score. I don't think he scored a goal in like a gazillion years, bro. What are you talking about? The last time Raul Jimenez scored a goal against West Ham, he probably didn't even have a headband.
We had our second choice goalkeeper. We had the left back that's finished.
Who, Flappy, the guy that you were gassing up a year ago.
Yeah, he's 40 years old. He's 40 years old.
And you were gassing him up. You told
when
me
he was younger, yeah. When he in his younger days, he's 40 years old.
I'm looking at your lineup now. So because Flappy played, that meant that Aguerd played shit, Zuma played shit, Kufar played shit, Ward-Prowse played shit, Souček is shit, so I'm not surprised by that. Kudos played shit, Kudos played shit, Paqueta played shit, Bowen played shit. So because Lucas Fabianski played in goal, that meant the rest of your team just forgot how to play football.
No, but we had Fornals and we had Creswell. Creswell was a big problem with a lot of our goals. A lot of them came down that side.
He's still getting 7th, Lawless.
Listen, we got a bad result. So what? Like what? A Newcastle because they got pumped? Are they not going to be?
I'll ask Pete in a minute, but I'm asking you about West Ham.
So next question, please.
Oh, what? They're so much better than West Ham. They lost to the team we slapped at your ground. So listen.
You didn't slap shit. What are you talking about?
You 2-1.
You scumbagged the 2-1 win.
Doesn't matter. We beat you, and they lost.
You know what a slap is? You said you slapped.
Yeah,
what are you talking about?
We just gave you a little one, not a big slap. It was just a little one of them reminders, like back in.
They'll finish above you this season. They'll finish above you this season.
So you're worried. You're worried about coming 7th now, Lawless. I can tell. I can tell already. You're worried about it. I can tell.
Listen, January's coming up, man. Brighton do his thing. Yeah, Spurs can get their little.
See, this is what I mean. Trophy. Oh, we're gonna get 7th because we got Tim Stainton.
Yeah. Listen, Spurs can get their little trophies finishing above us. We've got a real trophy. Yeah, we'll be running around Tottenham with the trophies out as they were singing.
I didn't even mention Tottenham finishing above West Ham. That's just customary. It means nothing to me.
Okay, I'm just saying we got the trophy.
Respectfully, I couldn't give a damn where West Ham are on the table.
Lawless said
and I'll tell you that. Listen, we've got more. But they can have third. We've got more chance winning the trophy this season than Spurs. I'm saying that.
I love that you said that. I love that you said that. So you're going to win the Europa League, yeah?
I think I didn't say we are. I didn't say we're going to win a trophy. I said we have more chance. Okay. I said we have more chance winning the trophy. Well, we're in more competitions than you. It's a fact.
You're in one more competition.
2 more. Are you in Europe? Are you in the Carabao?
No, I said you're in one more competition, Europe.
No, and we're in the Carabao.
You're still in the Carabao? Who you got?
We got Liverpool.
At Anfield?
Yeah, but listen, I'm going to deal with
it. Thanks for that, man. I needed that laugh, man. Thank you so much.
Clip this, Sam. Clip this.
Let me move this, man. Let me move this. We've been talking on way too long, man. Tobs, man, before you go and do Big Six, man, big up for coming on. Appreciate it. Spurs still confident Champions League?
Fairly. I wouldn't say I'm fully confident because it's going to be tough. We're going to have some players missing in January. Son's not going to be around for like a couple of weeks. Basuma and Sarr potentially out for a couple of weeks. But listen, man, I believe in what we can do this season. So let's see, man. I'm gonna go with a yes, but it's gonna be tough. It will be tough.
Yeah, it's gonna be tight, man. Listen, big up for coming on, man. Make sure you go follow Tobs at Tapping Tobs and go see the Big Six later. Take it easy, Tobs. Top man. Love for coming on.
All the best, mate.
Take care, man. Layers, man. Layers. Pete, might as well segue to yourself. It's been a tough week, man. Newcastle have been dunked on a couple of times.
Showed up. Well done, Pete.
I'm gonna say it, man.
I wasn't gonna be here tonight because of work, but
I appreciate you coming on. I appreciate you coming on. I do think though, Pete, right, and this is a real question. I've spoken to a few Newcastle. It's our squad now. It's not strong enough. We've got too many injuries, and I understand that, and I do feel for you the amount of injuries you had, right? But the first 11's still a good team, man. It's still a good team. So to get hammered in the last couple, well, not hammered by Everton, but disappointed against Everton, hammered by Tottenham, that can't be good, man.
Look, it's been a really bad week for Newcastle. 2 really poor performances. The squad's good enough. I think LB might have asked me the question last week, actually. And I said, in fact, it was Errol that asked me the same question last week. The squad's good enough. It's just that we haven't had the full squad to choose from. But I've not got an issue with the squad. The players that we have in this squad are good enough. But it's just been telling. It's been telling. However, I've always said I can tell within 10 minutes what type of Newcastle performance I'm going to get. I felt it at Everton, at Goodison Park. The way we were playing wasn't the same intensity. Players weren't at it. I just felt something wasn't right, and I felt exactly the same at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Look, Tottenham were quality. Son and Undogi absolutely destroyed us down our right hand side. They were too good. But we had chances. We probably had arguably the best 2 chances in the first 15 minutes. Could have been 2. I agree. And the game then changes. But you've got to put your chances away. You can't go to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium and not put your chances away. Lawless and Tobs has been going on for 40 minutes, I imagine, since the beginning of the show about that West Ham put their chances away and took the points. We didn't do it, and that's down to us. That's down to our players not doing the job. There's a lot of factors in it. I'm not gonna bore everyone with it. You know about the injuries, and that's the 5th game in a row we've played the same team and all the rest of it. But honestly, I'm just glad to get that week over. Obviously, a big game Wednesday against AC Milan. We've got Fulham, Luton, and Forest before the year's out. We need 9 points. It's as simple as that. We've got Wilson back. We've got Longstaff back. Barnes and Botman are not too far away. It's going to be looking healthier at that point. We need to be getting 9 points on the board. And if we get 9 points on the board, I think it'll be looking a little bit more rosy, because having looked at the teams around us, a lot of you guys are playing each other within that period. So it's an opportunity to kind of grab some points back. But I just, for me, go on. No, Son had Trippier tied up in knots.
I just said that.
But
to be fair, if you watch the game back, and I've watched it back begrudgingly, because that's what I normally do. When you normally watch most games 2 or 3 times back, but you watch the game back and he doesn't have the protection. So at times he is 2-on-1, and that's where maybe the inexperience of Miley, because Miley should be coming over and covering. He doesn't quite get there. If Longstaff's there, he's the protector. And it's great to have him back. We need to get him fit. But there's little moments like that. And to be fair, Trippier hasn't had a good 2 games. He literally gifted Everton the win on Thursday night with those 2 horrendous mistakes. To be fair, that game was either going to be a boring 0-0, or if any team was going to win it up until that point, it was going to be Newcastle. And Trippier just threw the game away effectively. It was poor decision-making from Trippier and poor mistakes.
Are you still confident, Pete? Are you still confident of having a good season in terms of Champions League qualification? Because I think you'll be fine. But some people may look at Newcastle's run of games now and think, oh, no, they may not have enough, and that Villa are looking great. It will come on to in a minute. Like, where are you at, bruv?
In terms of Champions League, I think we'll still be competitive in there. It's still early on in the season. A lot can change. At this point, last season, everyone had written off
the likes of Liverpool. Everyone had written off Villa. Everyone had written off Brighton. They have a loss or two. They're not going to make it. Not going to make it. And then all of a sudden, you go on a mad run, and things change. Newcastle United have got the opportunity to do that because we proved that we could do it last season. Look, I'm not getting into whether we're going to get top 4 or not. I think we'll still be in the mix. I still think we'll be competitive, without a doubt. Villa are quite rightly looking a really strong outfit at the moment. And look, they're in the driving seat, and rightly so, because they're playing some great stuff. But I'm not going to rule my team out. I've got no reason to. We get our players back. Hey, one thing is for sure, and I don't know if you guys saw the same. Boy, do we need another goalkeeper, because Dubravka is honking. And I said it right from the beginning. We should have, if Dan United was on here, I'd be calling him all the names under the sun. When he gave him back to us in January, that was the point where Eddie Howe and Newcastle United should have said, Man United, giving him back, surely there's something not right there. And there is something not right there, because the guy is finished. We need a goalkeeper.
I think you need another centre half as well, Pete. I think you need another centre half, because I thought Lascelles was abysmal, man, in that game against Spurs.
Lascelles was awful against Tottenham, but I can't hammer that guy. That guy's come from the wilderness, barely kicked the ball in a year, and for the last 10 games has been brilliant for us. He's come in and done a job. Now, he's not a first choice centre back. He isn't. His contract's out in the summer. He's probably going to get released on a free. But he's come in and done a job at a time where we didn't have Sven Botman. When Sven Botman's fit, he's back in, and Lascelles is back on the bench. But you're right. Like we said before all these injuries got worse, we said, right, we need an attacker, we need a right winger to push Miguel Almiron, because Miguel Almiron's getting too comfortable, thinking he's going to play every week, and he doesn't put performances in. We need a right winger to push him, and we need a centre back to push ultimately Fabian Schär. But actually, we need a centre-back to push either Botman or Schär. If Botman can't stay fit, we need someone to come in. So you're absolutely right. But for me, the priority now, we've shipped 7 goals in 2 games. Before that, we had the best defensive record equally with Arsenal in the league at that point. Pope was getting clean sheets. Without Pope, we're not the same team. We don't have the same authority in goal. We need a goalkeeper. That becomes the priority. Then we need a couple of attacking players. And it's already been said today that we've got money to spend. A lot of Newcastle fans worry about FFP. Apparently, we've got a lot
of loans from Saudi, I reckon, as well, from what I hear.
You know what? I didn't think it was going to happen. And a lot of talk was about the fact that it wouldn't happen. For me now, with all the injuries and everything that we've had, I don't care. I just want good players.
You just need players. Let me bring this super chat in, man, from James. Says to you, Pete, DCL had more and better chances by half time than Newcastle had all game. Ended with more XG than your whole team. You're lying, Pete, and you know it. You've had
Everton fan, I guess. All right, James. You guys are not
get him,
great.
James.
We gifted you the game. Don't lie. I've spoken to Everton fans. One of our Everton fans who comes on our channel said the same. We gifted them the game. So
Mate, you need to turn it around, bro. You need to turn it around.
Tobs does make a good point in the chat there, though, Pete. Are you worried about your away form at the minute?
Oh,
yeah,
honestly, that's been the talk. That's been the talk after this game. After this game against Tottenham, that has been all the talk. We've won 1 game away all season. And that's not good enough. It's not good enough to sustain what we want to achieve.
You can't get into top form if that form continues. Realistically, can you? You can't really say that.
But honestly, Errol, I don't expect it to. I don't expect it to.
Oh, come on. No, it will, Pete. Come on. You've got to expect it to get better than it has been. It's been terrible.
No, what I mean, I don't expect it to get any worse. I expect it to get
worse. Well, you said better. I was like, wow.
No. I don't expect it to stay, the away form to stay as it is. I expect the fact that Eddie Howe in his press conference is now being asked the question about it. He couldn't even find a way of justifying it in his presser after the Tottenham game. He said that I can't even justify it. Like, it's not good enough. And he knows it. And for me, away from home, I've looked at a few away games now, and away from home, we need a 6. We need a sitting midfielder. Bruno's not that guy. At home, he can dictate the play. He's brilliant, but he's not a number 6 defensive-minded central midfielder. We need somebody in there. There's all this talk about Phillips. Phillips might be going elsewhere. I'm not really bothered. I just want a quality player who's in that number 6 that can play that position to come in and do a job. So look, we've got work to do in January. We cannot keep having Matt Ritchie, Paul Dummett, and a bunch of young kids coming off the bench. We need quality and options. And I agree with you. Turn it around. So I'm not worried. It's still early days.
I agree with you, man. I do agree. Let me bring LB and Erwin together, man, because there was that.
I got to shoot because I've got
look, Pete, bro,
I'm
love,
sorry,
man.
All the best, mate.
Apologies, but hey,
love for coming on, my friend. Thanks so much, mate. Big up, man.
Take it easy, mate.
Big up, man. LB and Errol, good weekend for you, man. Can't lie. You take it, you get your win.
Billy, by the way, Billy's not happy with this.
No. Listen, I'm leaving Billy. I'm giving Billy the right to have his say and leave the best to last, isn't it? That was the way I was going to say it.
Fair enough. I just thought you was mentioning title contenders then, so that's why I pricked my ears up a little bit.
No, it's a good weekend for Villa. I said it's a good weekend for Man City and Liverpool. I haven't touched on Villa yet. I'll start with you, Errol, because I watched your game. I didn't watch all of the City game. I was at Centre Parts this weekend and I watched the majority of that game while my niece and nephew was swimming with everyone else. So I was just chilling in the bar watching that game thinking, what do I think of that? Did Liverpool get lucky? Was it convincing? Were Palace harsh done by? Were Liverpool great? There's so many questions watching that game. Obviously, VAR had its moments again and got involved, which should be spoken about. And then I looked at the Man City Luton game and I heard a massive cheer in the bar when Luton had scored and thought, no way. Man City can't be this much in the mud. Seriously, this can't be happening. And they turned it around as well. So I'll bring both of you in on it on both games, really, so we can move it on. But Errol, start with you. Like, does that game prove that Liverpool are going to be in it? Because Lawless was saying, wasn't he? Oh, when you win like that, that's the way it is. You're convincing. But I don't know if Liverpool were convincing. I watched the game. I didn't look at Liverpool and go, wow, they are top quality.
It was an underwhelming performance, to be honest, and I wasn't really inspired by a lot of the football that I watched. I'll be honest with you, I caught the last 10 minutes of the first half because I was playing footy. I know the first half, when I've come off the pitch, it was 0-0. So I can imagine the type of game it's been. And then I watched the whole of the second half. It felt like we just struggled to really click into like second or third gear at times. And Crystal Palace seemed to be very physical. They seemed to be really up for it, and he was winning all of the second balls for large parts of the game from what I could see. And that's where we kind of struggled, because players that I've up to now so far this season praised, they've kind of gone off the boil a little bit. So Bosley hasn't really looked like don't get me wrong, the kid's got an engine, but in terms of what he's doing on the pitch and being effective, it looks as if he's just kind of being a player at the minute to just piece things together. He's not influencing the game.
He's got less goals than Kai Havertz, man. Come on, look at himself. He's got to look at himself.
There's that, but Kai Havertz was brought in to be a false a number 9, not a midfielder. So yeah, it is what it is. I just think he at the beginning of his Liverpool career, everything seemed to be going through him. All the plays were going through him. He seemed to be the bit of the heartbeat and setting the tempo and dictating things. And I don't think he's lost that in his game. It's just become a little bit flat. Likewise with Luis Diaz, I watched Son. I only seen the highlights of the Newcastle game. But mate, the way Son absolutely shreds Trippier inside out. I'm thinking that's what I want my left winger to do. Like, I don't expect Luis Diaz to be the guy that scores all the goals or to be the guy that's like absolutely a pace merchant or anything like that. But I know you've got the ability to be able to beat a man and drop a shoulder. I just want you to make better decisions in the final third. He seems to just turn himself into blind alleys. He gets lost. He doesn't really know what to do. I don't know whether that's
Can I just say that LB thinks he's better than Martinelli? He told me he'd have Diaz over Martinelli in a combined 11. I told him no.
Again,
that's not unfair. Well, Martinelli's not.
No, it's not unfair. You told me that. That's what you told me.
Martinelli's not pulling up shoes right now, is he, Dan?
Yeah.
No, Martinelli. Yeah, no, absolutely. In terms of goals and stuff that we've seen, but Martinelli is top.
So mid-off right now.
I've always said it. Martinelli is better than Diaz, man.
I think Martinelli.
Give me Leon Bailey.
Looks more explosive I think Martinelli looks more explosive. Diaz just seems to be lost a little bit. I don't know if he played in a different system or a different team. He could just be himself, and he looks like a freestyle footballer. He doesn't really look like a system-led footballer, which is really what Klopp is trying to get him to turn into, and it just hasn't really clicked for him yet. I think Salah is, well, up until the point where Salah was, scored his 200th goal, he was cutting a frustrated figure. That's because in his head, he's fixated on getting that milestone.
He's been quality though.
He's been quality. Like, don't get it twisted. He's been, like, his output's amazing, but it's his overall play. When he gets something fixated in his head, all the other stuff that he just does without even really thinking about it, and it's really natural to him, he overthinks it, and then he undercooks passes that are really easy. For a player of his quality, some of the passes that he undercooks and some of the shots that he has, they're just wayward. So it wasn't the performance that made me think, yes, we're going to go on and win this league. We are going to be champions. But when you get away from a ground like that, you come away from Crystal Palace 2-1, you're banking your 3 points. I know everyone's going to take the piss and say, well, 12 o'clock, half 12 kick-off, you get it out early. It just puts all the pressure onto the Villas, the Cities, the Arsenals, and it's about them then standing up to that test. And I just think it's one of them ones where if you look back in March and April, if you're in the running, then it's because you won games like that. If you lose those games, or if you draw and we only get away with a draw, you can count out the title as far as I'm concerned, because I've been saying it from day dot. The draws are what kill your chances of winning a title. So if we draw that, it's another one on the board. I think that takes us to 5 draws out of the season. And don't get me wrong, we drew with City, we drew with Chelsea, we drew with Brighton, Luton. So if that becomes your 5th draw, I'm all of a sudden starting to think the chances of us actually winning the league become slimmer. All right, albeit City aren't hitting the heights yet that we know they've done in the past. In my mind, I would have probably started to think, all right, well, Liverpool are going to be in and amongst the chasing pack, but we haven't got that many more mistakes in us. I think it was a bit of a, if I'm being painstakingly honest, it was a bit of a get out of jail free card on the weekend for us, because the players could have looked at it 1-0 down, penalty, a little bit dubious. Again, the whole VAR thing, I think all football fans could talk about VAR decisions that are absolutely crippling their teams at one point or throughout another at some point this season. However, they took the piss. 5 minutes time they spent before they decided to review it. And when you look at it, it looks nailed on. There's clear contact. So if it is that clear and obvious, just blow the whistle. I
couldn't believe they were looking at it for that long. It's scary.
You just took the piss.
That was the thing that annoyed. Well, it annoyed all of us. I think the fact that they just went back so long. Like, there needs to be some sort of cutoff here, surely.
But you know what I noticed though, Billy, as well as to add to that, in that 5 minutes, it almost looked like Liverpool stopped playing. Even though we held on to the ball.
You know what's going on.
You know what's going on in the background. So even though you've got the ball, you're very reluctant to do anything with it.
You just feel like someone should just kick it out and just
let them deal with it.
Let's wait and see what happens before we continue.
Remy saying it was only a minute, bro. I swear down, it was at least like 3.5, 4 minutes worth of time.
It wasn't a minute.
It was poor. But anyway, after that, you could sit there and think, right, they took the piss, taking the time to blow the whistle, and then obviously judge it to be a penalty. Then they score the penalty, and you can sit there and think, oh, okay, you can feel sorry for yourselves here. You've almost got an excuse. You're away from home. You haven't got your own fans back, and you're a goal down with 20-odd minutes left to go. How would you handle that? You can, lick your wounds because you just haven't really clicked into gear at all so far. You just probably want to get back on the road and get back up to Liverpool, but he didn't. And it's that for me which makes me think, especially with the options off the bench, I've said it so far a lot this season, I was very dubious about Harvey Elliott's ability to start as an 8. Then you get an upgrade in the likes of, obviously, Henderson goes out the door, but you get a Szoboszlai, and you think, you're not getting ahead of him. But for him to be able to come off the bench, he has been our most impactful player this season off the bench, Harvey Elliott. All of his good performances for Liverpool this season have come off the bench. So, in my mind, it's a great role for him right now, because I think that seems to suit him. But it's that having those options to change a game off the bench. And I don't think enough has been made of Klopp's substitutions in recent weeks, because it was Endo in the game before when we go behind and end up winning the mad 4-3 game. That was, Endo's the one that gets us back into that. He comes off the bench. The there's been a few tweaks that Klopp's done where I think they just got a little bit unnoticed, and it's actually led to us getting results. So I'm not going to knock it, but I do feel we need to start, players that had turned up need to start turning up again, because if they turn up and we can kick onto another gear, I think other teams are going to start to worry about this Liverpool side. I think you all take us seriously, but I don't know if you are worried about us yet. And I'm not convinced we've done enough to worry.
I don't see much difference between what we're doing and what Liverpool are doing, really. I think we're getting across the line. We're going to be up there in a title race, but no one's going, God, I don't want to play Arsenal right now, or I don't want to play Liverpool right now. They look scary. I don't think anyone looks scary. And I think City looks scary, Arsenal, Liverpool. I honestly don't. And I do think that Manchester City will kick into gear and they will win the league. But I don't think
this is what I said to you from the outset of the season. If we drag City to our level, you get moments like this where people don't look scary. So anyone on any given day feels, yeah, I'm up for that. I bring City down to Villa Park. I'm up for that. Yeah, go on, bring Arsenal down. I'm up for that. Like, that's what has happened so far this season. And obviously, the longer it continues, the more chance the likes of Arsenal, the likes of Liverpool have got to be able to really pip City. But it's in that moment right now where we're all kind of in that void. The team that looked the scariest.
Yeah, facts. Absolute facts.
I watched it with my own eyes. They first off, don't get me wrong, first off, they looked great. Second off, they looked like they ran out of steam a little bit. But in terms of on their day, if Villa wanted to set up to give anybody a game, they're more than capable. Whereas at the moment, I'm just waiting for certain players to really grab, not all games by the scruff of the neck, but just show we're a level above. And until Liverpool get back to that point of being like, we're a level above, I'm still not convinced anybody else is really going to be worried.
Listen, if it stays like this, man, everyone wants that. All the neutrals want it to be 4 or 5 teams that can win the league, right? That's what we all want. It's like you want that in every sport. You don't want it just to be, it's like Formula 1, and that's my other sport. It's been crap. Max Verstappen won it about 10 years ago. It was crazy, and it was rubbish for the rest of the season. Nobody wants that with City or Liverpool, Arsenal, anyone. Yeah, unless you support that team. So for me, it's going to be an exciting one. We're definitely going to touch on Villa, but got to touch on Man City very quickly, LB, and where you're at, because Luton. Big up Luton, by the way, because that's now Arsenal, Liverpool, and Man City that they've all actually worried for a few minutes of a game. And I never thought I'd be saying that, because at Luton, everyone said we're going to be the whipping boys. I think they've been really good, man, when they've come up. I think they've definitely given it their all in all the games they've played. They've got some fight. And I think Burnley and Sheffield United will be disappointed. And I'm not so sure that Luton fans will. I think there's actually a couple of people that will give them a fighting chance. But Man City were always winning that game. I watched the second half. I thought it was just a matter of time when you were scored. But where are you at, LB, with the other teams around us, mate? Are you like, City are still going to smash this league by a few years? Do you think it'll be closer this year? Do you not really see where it's going to go? Where you at, bro?
I still think City will win the league by 5 to 7, maybe 9 points is where I'm sort of at. City just needed to win the game. 4 matches without a win in the Premier League. Like, it was quite simple. Don't care how we win. Don't care what the performance is like. You just got to get the 3 points. We did that. Another game, no clean sheet. We've not had a clean sheet in the Premier League now since the 29th of October. That's concerning. We're just conceding 2 sloppy goals, man. Gvardiol not closing him down. Walker and Diaz at the back post not dealing with it. But like you say, bro, let me just address Arteta's muse. It's not arrogance, bro. I believe my team, innit? You know what I mean? I believe my team is going to win the league. How is that arrogant? How is it arrogant to say I believe Manchester City, who just won the treble, who've won 3 Premier Leagues in a row, are still going to win the league? That's not arrogant. That's just me saying it's my opinion. My opinion is Manchester City win the league. How is that arrogant, man? I don't get how that could be arrogant. Just say Manchester City going to win the league. And by the way,
big up Arteta's muse, but I'm with you, LB. That is just you.
Bro,
I
agree
with you. I think you are going to win the league, and I've said that from the start. I've not seen anything yet to suggest that Liverpool, Arsenal, or Villa, or any of the other teams can do anything. But I hope, of course, that you don't win the league, because it's nice to see somebody else win it, especially if it's my club. But yeah, man, listen, you had to win the game. To say that 4 games that I never thought I'd hear Man City fans saying that. So
I also think we're just getting slightly unlucky. Not to sort of like get the violins out and that, because ultimately I always look at my team and like try and say, why didn't we win? What could we have done a little bit like better? But like we have been a bit unlucky. Like Wolves, they scored 2 goals and had 1 shot on target. At Arsenal, we actually done really well considering how the players we didn't have, and we conceded a deflected shot. Chelsea, we just defended shockingly that day. Liverpool, we should have put them to bed. Bit of a dodgy decision potentially on the goalkeeper. Who else did we play? Spurs. I mean, we dominated that game. Look at the XG. Even Tobs said like they were fortunate to get away with that with a point. So look, we can do better. We need to focus on ourselves. I feel like we've been a little bit unlucky at times, but I've been consistent on this show and on all other shows throughout the season. I've always said I don't need City to be top of the league at this moment in time. I've said by the time Kevin De Bruyne gets back in January, I want to be within 6 to 7 points of the top. And with 4 points. So I'm kind of like where I would be happy to be. We get Kevin De Bruyne back in January. I reckon we'll go on and win the league. That's where I'm at, man.
Fair play, man. You can't win a game without Rodri, though. You need to keep him fit, bro. I'll tell you that now. He needs to play.
Well, that's an issue. That is a joke, man, because without him in the team, statistically, we lose football matches. So we have to go in the transfer. Now we're letting Phillips go, which is the right thing because he'll never play for us. But
you gotta get someone in. You gotta get someone in. I think.
I agree.
Do you know what I mean? It's mad. Errol, big up, man. I know you got to shoot. I appreciate you jumping on, my friend. Big up. Thanks for jumping on. Hope.
I'll speak to you soon, please.
Yeah, man.
Take it easy, mate.
Make sure you drop a like. Love the chat.
Take care, man. That's it then. Wrap that one up. Cheers then, guys. Thanks all for watching. I'm joking. Billy, you get to have your say, my friend. Go easy on me. Do you know what? Actually, right. I'll tell you this now. I was in the Santa's grotto during that game on Saturday with my nephew and my niece. Thinking, oh my God, what's the score? And you get no signal in there, obviously. So I'm like, when we were 1-0 down, so I watched the first half and I'm like, oh my God, what's happening here? All my mates that were coming through on WhatsApp. I always find that WhatsApp, you can get messages, but you can't actually go on anything else. So I'm getting this, we're battering them, we missed chance again. What's going on? Arsenal can't finish their dinner. And I watched the highlights and yeah, it was right. We couldn't finish our dinner. If we would have, I think we would have comfortably won that game, man. VAR get involved again. Kind of getting bored of talking about that. You shouldn't have to talk about that, really. You should be 3 or 4-0 up so that VAR doesn't matter. I personally don't think, Billy, the goal was a shocker from Arsenal. I looked at it and I thought, actually, it was pretty flawless from Villa, if I'm honest. But I don't know if people disagree. Maybe they thought it was Declan Rice and Ben White. Maybe you could have done better. People will look at Raya.
It was a good goal, wasn't it, to be fair?
It was a good goal, I thought.
Football, if we're being honest.
It was great football, man. And listen, you're in a title race now, aren't you?
I don't know if those Lawless's famous words, we are contenders. I don't know if that could just yet.
Honoree's bet, by the way. Errol's supposed to sing Bubbles today. Thanks for reminding me. The cow.
Next time, man.
All right, what was that?
Just remind the viewers quickly so they know, because they won't know.
Basically, Errol tried to call me out and said I was saying that West Ham were title contenders in September. I said I never said that. He said, Sam's got you on camera. I said, did I say West Ham are contenders for the Premier League? He was like, yeah, you did. I said, all right, I bet you did. I said, if Sam can find a clip of me saying West Ham are contenders for the Premier League, I'll sing You'll Never Walk Alone. If he can't, you sing Bubbles. Guess what? He pulled out a clip of me saying, we are contenders. Contenders for what?
Well, you tell us. You said it.
Yeah, to be fair, you were top of the table at the time.
No, but I wasn't even I've never even talked about a title race. What I was saying was when I said we are contenders, I was talking about for Europe because no one had us in European places on this prediction. That wasn't long after we done the predictions. None of you lot had us in the top 7. So that's why I was like, yeah, fuck it. We've just finally beat Brighton. We're contenders for Europe, mate. And you was all in the mud at that point, and I was willing to rub it in. And so yeah, Errol's got to sing.
Errol next time can sing "Blowing Bubbles" or whatever the hell it is. There we go.
But I don't know how that reminded me, but yeah, Billy, shit out a win.
Yeah, no, I don't know if we're not title contenders just yet. It's silly to say that we are. Maybe if we get to March, April time, then
no, Billy, you've just beaten Manchester City and Arsenal. So how can you sit there and say you're not title contender when you're just beating Manchester City? You battered us. I've not seen a team play like that against City for a long, long time.
I don't think anyone's ever seen that.
Exactly. And you just beaten Arsenal as well. So how can you say you're not? I think you are in a title race. Come on.
Emi Martinez believes we are. But yeah,
that's good to hear. That's good to hear.
Yeah, I as a fan, I don't want to get overly confident, put my chest on the line. I think we're certainly
you don't want to end up like
Champions
Arsenal
League
fans last season. That's what you don't want, Billy. You don't want to end up like Arsenal fans last season, especially this one.
If we're in this same position come March and April, maybe my chest is going to be out there. I don't know, but just yet, I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. I certainly think we're in there for Champions League.
The squad's good, man.
Squad's great, man.
It's very good. It is very good. And, you know, I did say to you boys, we just need to see how we navigate December with the amount of fixtures, the two big boys coming to Villa Park. Look, I'm so close. But no, it's...
Come on, Billy, get your chest out, bro. Listen, you've got a manager who knows what it means to win. You've got a really good squad. You've got a goal scorer. You've got great midfield. You look solid at the back. You've got a brilliant goalkeeper. I don't know, man. I'm liking what I'm seeing from Villa. I always knew Unai Emery was going to do well. I will say Villa should never have been in 18th or 16th, or whatever it was anyway. So I expected him to be better than that. But let's be real. He's taken them in 18 months to third place. That is mental. And he's, in my opinion, I still say it, Lawless don't want you to. I still think you're going to win the Conference League. I do. And I think that you can get Champions League as well.
Just booked the hotel for Athens.
Well, that's
it is a refundable free cancellation, mind. But
wow, that shows the confidence that you've got in your team, innit?
I'm not going to shell out the money now, am I?
No, you know what though? You know what though? If you actually check their fixtures out as well, right? They got Brentford, Sheffield United, Man United, Burnley, Everton.
Wow.
Come on, man. Sorry, Billy, I think you've got to get a bit gassed about this. I think you've got a serious chance.
All I want to see, you know, Arsenal have got Brighton and Liverpool. Liverpool have got United and Arsenal coming up now. We've got Brentford and Sheffield United before Christmas. We could genuinely be Christmas number one. That's all I want to see. Sit there on Christmas Day, feet up, beer in hand, see Aston Villa number one.
Why can't you win the league, Billy? Why can't you win the league?
So I can't give you an answer. The only thing would be at the minute is the away form. We need to improve the away form, but that's not even been horrendous. We've lost to Newcastle on the opening day after just losing Tyrone Mings to an ACL. Buendia 3 days before as well. That was a huge loss. Anfield as well. We've lost at Anfield. Raucous atmosphere at the best of times, and Notts Forest as well. That's the only one that's really bitter and disappointing. Main reason is because had we have won that game, we'd be top of the league now. But yeah, they're three places, three big atmospheres as well. Drawn to Bournemouth, beaten Chelsea, beaten Spurs away, and I can't remember the other team as well that we beaten. But yeah, look,
you beat Hibs 5-0 away. Come on,
we did beat Hibs 5-0 away. Fair enough.
You know what needs to happen here, though? You can just quickly, Pat, something that will really annoy me as a football fan is if Aston Villa are in a really good position and they don't strengthen that squad in January, because you've got a golden opportunity here, right? And if they try and fail, listen, there's no shame in that. No one expected Villa to be here anyway. But if Villa get to January the 1st and they're within 4 or 5 points to the top, which they probably will be given the fixtures, they have to, in my opinion, they have to go out in that January window and make a statement and just come out and say, you know what, we're going to go for it. Don't be one of these teams who were like Newcastle last year, who were like, oh no, we're not in a race. You know, fair dues, you got Champions League. I want Villa to say, you know what, we're going to give it a go. And if we fail at the end, no problems. You know, no one expected, but go for it.
That's what we did, man.
Do you know exactly? I was just going to say, Pops.
I mean, Trossard's quality, don't get me wrong, Jorginho's done a job, but that's not enough to go win a title, man. Come on. Like we could have had Caicedo, but they obviously Brighton didn't want to sell him. There was links with Mudryk. I don't think Mudryk would have been the answer, of course, but we should have gone more than that, man. We should have gone boom, boom, boom. Don't blow it now. But we tried to sneak it with Trossard and Jorginho. It didn't work. And I'm with LB. I think Aston Villa have got a good squad, but I don't think it is like a wow squad. And it could be in a couple, 2 or maybe 3 additions in the areas you suggested on the WhatsApp chat in terms of fullback, centre-back, striker, definitely, because with Watkins out, you're a bit screwed. I think you could be real. Honestly, mate, I think, and I'm a Unai Emery fan. I do think you should have gone,
agree with you, boys.
I think he's done brilliant at Villa, man.
I do completely agree with you, and like you say, Potts, they're the only areas. We need another backup goalkeeper because if Martinez goes, we're screwed. We've got Robin Olsen or young lad Marshall in goal. That's not good enough. Matty Cash, in my opinion, isn't good enough, but we've got Ezri Konsa playing out wide now with Diego Carlos in the middle. He's killing it out there, completely nullified Martinelli. Martinelli had nothing on him. Quality player.
Good
and he's
player,
showing
man.
it out on right back as well now. So still an area that I feel like we need to improve because, like I said, I don't think Matty Cash is good enough. And striker, yeah. If Watkins is out, then we're screwed as well.
We've got John Duran, who he ain't going to be good enough. Is he? Good player, but
he's a decent player from what we've seen, but he's just very young, very raw. You need someone better to come in. But aside from that, injuries in midfield, things like that, injuries at the back. I think we're all right, to be honest with you. We've got Moreno that's just come back now. He can fill in for Luca Dean at left back. Douglas Luiz, Tielemans, McGinn, Jacob Ramsey. Jacob Ramsey's back now. So midfield and defence really is solid. It's just up front that if we get.
Do you regret maybe getting rid of Archer? Maybe now with that squad depth that you could have had if you kept him around.
Yes, and no. Archer's a great player with a lot of potential. But I think we kind of let him go. I mean, we've got a buyback clause on him. I think if Sheffield United go down, from what I've heard, it might be an obligation to buy him back or something like that for the same amount that we sold him for. But I think that just balanced the books for FFP with him being an academy player and all sorts. I don't know exactly, but no, I just don't see where his game time would really have come from. And he's a player that should be playing Premier League minutes. He's shown his worth in the Championship. He needed that opportunity then to go out and play regular Premier League minutes. And we thought at the time the best way to do that is to sell him for 20 million, have a buyback clause on him anyway. And I think, like I say, there might be a relegation clause in there as well. I'm not sure, but
it's going to be hard though. They know they're coming in, they're going to be behind Watkins, man. So it's going to have to be like Iheanacho, where he might even want to go. He might be happy at Leicester going up again.
I don't know. This is the problem that you have, but I think there's going to be someone out there for us to bring in. Who it is exactly, I don't know. Maybe we might try and find someone better than Watkins if there's a deal to be done. I don't know. But yeah, it's certainly an area that we need to strengthen. But you know, you look at
the title, Arsenal are definitely in the mud. But you can't fucking duck and weasel your way out of that one.
Where's this come from? What's going on now?
No, I'm just saying, if they do win the title, you're talking about Villa you're in LB, like you're in the title race, you're in it, yeah, you're in it, you're in the title race. Come on, Billy, you're in the title race. If they do win the title, yeah, that you're putting them in the race for, Arsenal are in the mud. You said they wouldn't be in the mud if Liverpool won it,
and so are Liverpool, and so are Man City.
We're talking about Arsenal. Would Arsenal be in the mud? That's the fan base that said it's impossible. It's impossible to finish above this Man City team. It's just not possible. It's too good. It's not.
They'd be in the mud. They'd be in the mud then. Yeah, they would be in the mud. I don't see
that. Would you be in the mud?
With me personally or my football club?
No, your team. Well, you, but mud by association. Mud by association.
This is what I mean with you. It's absolutely. This is the problem. You listen to a gal, you listen to Ty, you listen to Goon Lee, and all these people that talk positive on the club and go, "See, Potts, you're all in the mud with them. You're in the mud with them."
Well, they're not here, so you must answer for them. Do you think I'm going to?
Why should I answer them? Why should I answer them?
Because you're here.
Okay, so everybody that says Moyes in, you answer for them as well, then.
Well, listen, you can ask me about those. I do.
One rule for you, another for the rest, Potts.
Exactly, people ask why I don't like Villa. Yeah, it's actually not even a Villa problem. It's fans like Billy, right? And I tell you this because fans like Billy and Potts, because Potts was like,
I'm not a Villa fan. What's going on here?
Yeah, I know, but it's the way you was acting at the start of the season on Villa. But it's fans like Billy, right? When I was like, do you know what? Villa beat Arsenal. I rooted for Villa to beat Arsenal, and I was like, do you know what? Solidarity, truce with claret and blue. I'm like, boom, sent him a video. Oh yeah, Billy put a video in the chat of him drinking a beer or a picture, and I said, oh, how did Arsenal tears taste. Like, yeah, let's go on, Billy. And he was like, oh, just as good as West Ham fans. And I was like, no, fuck this guy.
Billy,
fuck
you're a legend.
Guy.
Loved it. I loved it.
All of a sudden, his tune changed in the click of a finger.
Yeah, I was like, no,
it was just a bit of friendly banter.
Whoa, but it's not the time, Billy. We're bantering Arsenal. It's Arsenal banter time. Don't bring us into it with your obsession on us. It's Arsenal.
Do you think Arsenal were unlucky to lose that game, Lawless?
Do you know what I think? And I will say this, right? And I said it. I would like to know when Arsenal will drop points this season and you lot not blame the ref. That's what I'm interested in. When are you going to finally lose a game and it not be the ref's fault, VAR's fault, the wind, apparently, Robbie, the wind, right? When are Arsenal going to drop points and it be Arteta's fault, the players' fault? Answer me that, Arsenal fans.
I can't even disagree with that, because when we lost to Newcastle, it was VAR, but we were poor. When we lost to Villa, nearly forgot then, it was VAR. I didn't really hear. We didn't finish our chances. We were poor against Newcastle. We didn't create much. When we dropped points to Fulham, it was a penalty incident that people were talking about. It was the other team. Oh, Chelsea, when we dropped points there. Oh, this was a disgraceful decision. Man, we were poor. Just say it, man. We were poor. Sometimes we are poor. Sometimes the manager's poor. Sometimes the situation is Arsenal don't win a game of football. But you can't always sit there and start pointing fingers. Sometimes you just got to say how it is, man. We were rubbish on the night. I don't think we were rubbish on the night against Villa. I don't know what Billy thinks. I didn't see the whole game 1-90.
To be fair, in that game, sorry, Potts, for butting in.
No, go on,
but
bro.
just talking on that quickly, I thought first half you were probably the better team, but I felt we were quite toe to toe for parts of it. Second half, to be fair, you completely battered us, and it was the lack of taking chances. I think a few of your chances, to be honest with you, would have been flagged offside had they have gone in. Some of them were poor finishing. The Odegaard one, where Jesus laid it back to him, was just predictable, and a goalkeeper in the Premier League should be saving that. He was always going to go that side of the goal. So yeah, I think you've only got yourselves to blame for a loss like that.
We talk about the goal, though. Let's talk about the goal. Oh, is it, Mr. Man United? Let's talk about the goal, right? Because what I want to talk about, one thing I've not seen anyone talk about, right? When I watched the replay of this goal, you've seen the goal, right, Potts? You've watched it.
Yeah.
Why is no one talking about Declan Rice for that goal?
I thought you meant the goal we scored. The goal we conceded.
The goal you conceded, yeah.
Yeah, no, I did. I don't know if you weren't listening to me. I did say you could look at Declan Rice and Ben White for that goal, because I thought it was like
White, because he left it. Rice is there.
Rice left his man. Ben White weren't tight. Rice left his man. People are blaming Raya again just because he's the topic of the night. I don't think you can save that as a keeper personally, but maybe you can do better if you want to go down that road. But yeah, Rice and White, I would say. Zinchenko as well. Again, defensively, I mean, LB and Big Steve who spoke to me about this. Like, defensively, he's a shambles, bro. I'm sorry. Zinchenko defensively is absolutely awful at times. Going forward, he's brilliant. Really, really good on the ball. Technically fantastic. But you can talk about Trent all you like. Zinchenko at times reminds me of that, man. He defensively just leaves people. But anyway, I would say
Rice
you're right.
Is a big problem. It's the big, and people are saying it wasn't Rice.
It's not a big problem. He made one mistake in a game. What are you talking about? It's a big problem.
No, what I'm saying is he was one of the most at fault for that goal. How can people say he wasn't at fault? Because
he was at fault. He was at fault.
If he doesn't leave his man, he's able to cut that out. But all he does, like a fool, when there's already two players chasing down the ball, he goes and leaves his man to chase the ball down, leaving McGinn wide open with no one there. And then McGinn scores. So that's Rice. So how?
I think Villa deserve a lot of credit for it, though. I do think Villa deserve a lot of credit for the goal.
I was just going to say, with every goal that's scored, the defensive team can always do something better. You know, you can't. That's just football.
You can't leave your man.
The goal that. Well, it doesn't matter. The goal that Villa scored, the liquid football, the 10 out of the 11 players on the pitch on the.
It was a tap-in, Billy. Let's not overhype it. It was a tap-in.
It was a great goal from start to finish.
It was a
from
good
start
goal,
of the play to
it's
John
Rice.
McGinn.
When Rice made these mistakes, he never mentioned
Declan Rice and it's John McGinn. That's what it is, Potts.
Exactly. He's talking
imagine
about
if Souček had scored that. God, we'd never hear the end of it.
Can you imagine if Souček scores that goal? He's
Lawless would demand his own little stream, man, on the 12th man, just to fucking talk about it. Best goal ever scored in football history? Question mark with Lawless on the thumbnail.
Wait a minute, that's your thumbnails, man. That's how you do your thumbnails, right? But I only hype up Souček against Spurs because Tobs hates him. I'm one of his biggest critics, Souček. Let's have it right.
No, that is facts. That is facts.
But
man.
you lost, Potts, right? So at the end of the day, you've got to take that. You've got to hold it.
I'll hold the nil, man. I don't think we played shocking. I think the handball goal thing is by the law a handball, but it is weird that Cash can play netball, but Havertz can't.
That's what it is. The laws of us. We all know it is. Unfortunately, it is what it. Unfortunately for Arsenal, should I say, it is what it is.
The law's been the same for ages, and it blows my mind that there are Arsenal fans that don't know that there's a different rule for defensive handball as offensive handball. It's been the same for ages. Well, it should be a penalty then because it hit Matty Cash's arm. No, it shouldn't because he's a defensive player. I've seen back in like 2017, we had goals ruled out. Some that from Rice where it hit his arm in the build-up, and then it wasn't.
It has been
Arsenal fans, familiarize yourself on the. Keep blaming refs. You keep blaming VR, blaming refs. You don't know the fucking rules to start with. So learn the rules before you want to say it's the refs, before it's the VAR, and you're the victims. And there's conspiracy. Everyone's out to get Arsenal. No one wants Arsenal to win the league because why?
Yeah. Wallace is right, you know. I don't think that's healthy either for your football club to be constantly playing that sort of mentality. I think it's much better.
Victim.
Yeah, I think it's much better looking at yourselves and going, you could. That doesn't mean, by the way, you can't moan about referees. You can, but it just feels that, like you said even before, it feels like every time a result doesn't go Arsenal's way, it's because of the referee. And I just feel that, and I'm not.
I think it is both, LB. I think it is both. I think it is that, and then I think there are people that are genuinely just disgusted by the crap refereeing. So I think there's some fans that will go, "That's why we lost," and I think there's some fans that go, "That was crap," but actually we need to look at ourselves, and that's what I'm doing. Yeah, the VAR is disgusting, but I can't rely on VAR, man. If you're relying on VAR to win a result, something's gone wrong. If you're relying on VAR to win you a game, you're in the wrong there because your team hasn't played well. That's all.
Errol hit the nail on the head earlier. Errol hit the nail on the head earlier when he's saying if you're in a title race, the games like Palace, you need to be winning to. If you're drawing or losing those games, kind of thing, they're the games at the end of the season that you look back on and say, yeah, we should have won that game. You can't just look at the VAR or the referees or whatever. Right. You need to look at yourself and go, why didn't we win this game? And you can't go because it was the refs. It was because you missed your chances. You had a plethora of chances against Villa. Yeah. You didn't take them. It is what it is. Move on.
Do you know why though that VAR is against Arsenal?
We're the Arsenal. We're the Arsenal.
That's why. That is why. That is why. Listen, we've only got a few minutes, man. I need to shoot in a few minutes, but I do need to talk about Manchester United in the next couple of minutes before we go. Dan, big up for jumping on, my friend. How is your manager still in the job? I have no idea, by the way. There is a Man United fan, though, who does have a solution.
Give it Giggsy to the end of the season. Give it Giggsy to the end of the season. Give it Giggsy to the end of the season.
A monkey in a shoe could do a better job.
Big up Andy Tate, man. Listen, I don't know where to go anymore because I feel like we're here. It was funny and it was a little bit funnier, and now it's not really funny anymore, and now it's actually boring talking about Man United.
No, it's still very, very funny, Dan. Please, still very funny.
I need.
I'm sure we'll have plenty to talk about you in a few months, mate. Don't worry. So you can talk about it as long as you want, bud. As long as you want.
It's normal service. Like before you start, Dan United, remember what I said. Just remember what I said a few weeks ago. Why are we talking about this like it's a big shock anymore and all that?
I agree. Lawless, I agree. 100% agree. Yeah. And the thing is, the sad thing is, I called it. Honestly. This has been coming. This is but Lawless, this false. Oh, Maguire player of the month, Ten Hag manager of the month. we played with the greatest of respect, Sheffield United, Luton, teams like this. So it's been coming, and oh my God, I mean, like I'm already thinking of excuses to not appear next week because we are going to get absolutely destroyed at Anfield. It's going to be embarrassing, but I'm going to say something that you probably
it's not more than 7, Dan. You'll be all right.
It probably will be though, Potts. Honestly, mate. Look, if that was us last season in a good season, what the fuck's going to happen on Sunday? It's shocking. You can't even say it's fine margins because it really isn't. It's just every team we're playing, it's men against boys. Ten Hag has to take blame, of course he does. But I'm going to say this now: I'd much rather see players go than Ten Hag go, because this has happened with every manager. And Lawless.
What players, Dan? Name the players then.
Rashford. I'd sell him. I've had enough of him. I've absolutely had enough of him. Last season, I beat my chest like Billy did when they beat Hibs about Rashford. Honestly, I said, this guy is, this is it. He's turned it around, but you can't rely on Marcus Rashford. You can't. There's so many.
McTominay, Dan. He was horrific, mate.
Yeah, but McTominay's been shit for weeks, LB. He just still picks him. It's the players need to go before the manager now. And the one thing I hope, I wasn't a fan of Sir Jim getting what he's. This is the other thing, right? Sir Jim bought this apparently how many months ago now, and we're still rolling on. He still hasn't actually officially taken over in the new role that he's got. But if he does come, I really hope he comes out and says, right, manager stays, these players go, and I really do. But unfortunately, it won't happen. Marcus Rashford up 375 grand a week. I'll say it again, 375 grand a week. Do you know who the last forward was to score at Old Trafford?
Martial.
Sancho.
Someone like that.
Sancho in May.
Was it? What?
That's bad, that is actually
horrendous.
Bad.
That's horrendous. And I don't know. Look, we could sit here for hours, and I have sat here for hours screaming and shouting about it and getting passionate. But unfortunately, this is, as Lawless said, this is the norm. It's as simple as that. We can sit here, and I've seen so many Man United fans getting gassed because manager of the month, player of the month, this is it. We turned a corner. We haven't turned no corner. We're going around in circles. There's no corners in a circle, trust. It's just a complete circle, and it will keep going, and it will keep going. There are players in that club. I've said this before, and yeah, I did blame the owners for a long time, and I still don't like the owners. I still think the owners are just as much to blame. But there are players at that club that do not give two shits, and it's as simple as that. You watched the Villa players on Saturday, and you watched the passion and just chasing down every last ball, everything. You watched the Fulham players against West Ham chasing down. It's not a dig. Chasing down every last ball. I watched United players against Bournemouth being outrun by Dominic fucking Solanke. Outmuscled by Philip Dilling. How is this possible? And the thing for me is, this is the breed at Manchester United now. They don't care because they're picking that big fat wage check at the end of every week. They're going home to their expensive house with their expensive cars and all that bollocks. They don't care. They do not care. I would much rather in January United do a madness and say, right, Rashford go, Anthony go. They won't sell Fernandes. They won't. I know there's hate for Fernandes, but he ain't going anywhere. McTominay go. I'd much rather him get the coin for Rashford, because we all know, as much as he is as bad as he is, Saudi would pay a lot of money for him. You know that. He'd go there for big money. I'd much rather us sell him, sell Anthony, sell people like McTominay, and just bring it. I'd rather bring in 5 or 6 workhorses that come on that pitch and absolutely run their asses off for the badge. But at the moment, unfortunately, any new player who comes into this club, they're going to get that big wage and go, I've made it. That's it now. Next 5 years, I'm getting paid a lot of money. They don't care.
You're still only 6 points off City, mate. So, it could be worse.
Again, false. It's a false position. Like this week again, Newcastle lost, and we're like, okay, now we're above Newcastle. How? And some Man United players fans will say, hang on a minute, we're doing all right here. We're not as bad as them. Forgetting that Newcastle have got 164 players out missing. Do you know what I mean?
But you know what, Dan? Right? Someone said to me at the weekend, "What do you think's going wrong at Man United?" I said, "Listen, name me something that's going right. Name me a department that's going right. The ownership are wrong. The board are wrong. The players are wrong. The manager, in my opinion, is wrong now. You can't be because sticking up. Fans are still sticking up for it. I still believe in him. I don't understand what you're believing in. This guy has brought in players.
What changes? Because we've had this. We've tried Van Gaal. We've tried Mourinho.
I think you've got to start again as a club. You're finished with the Glazers in charge, in my opinion. In terms of where United are, you might sneak top 4. You might win a FA Cup now and then. You ain't going to be like the Man United under Fergie, in my opinion, under the Glazers, because they've spent a lot of money on trash. They've allowed it to be spent on trash. They've given it to a manager and said, "You do what you want with it, mate. I'm going to buy all my lads from Ajax. That's all I know. Go on then, give them a go." Poor, no direction of football, no understanding of, no plan, no process. The same under Rolly, same under Ralph Rangnick, and everybody that said Man United is not in the right position, get out the club. Jose Mourinho, goodbye. Ralph Rangnick, this is a mess. Goodbye, you're toxic. Ronaldo, yeah, this ain't like the Man United I knew. Get out, toxic, goodbye. Let's keep people like Harry Maguire. Let's keep people like Matt Rashford, who, by the way, is a talented boy, but I've said for a while has got a mentality problem, and it's shown again.
I can't say anything about. Do you know something? The one out of all this bad lot, I can't say anything about Maguire. I don't look. He's shit on the pitch, but I don't think he's part of the problem behind the scenes. I genuinely don't. I don't think he's one of the ones. I think it's your
Rashford. Not good enough.
I agree, but I think it's your Rashfords, your Sanchos, people like that. I think
Bruno is a disgrace, man.
I agree. 100%.
Somehow club captain.
Disgusting. You got Højlund. He's yet to score a goal, man. There's so much pressure on the poor lad.
Højlund, imagine him at City. He'd bang goals in. He would. He's playing in the wrong front three. Simple as that. It's as simple as that. He's playing in the front three that is not going to create anything for him. Simple as
that. It seems. Do you think this is the week, Dan, that he could get sacked?
No, I don't. I don't. LB, there's 2 reasons, mate. A, they can't afford to sack him. They can't afford to. They'd have to pay a lot of money out. And B, like I saw people say, get Michael Carrick in. Fuck off. What in what world is Michael Carrick going to come into this club? Do you know what I mean? It's not that. And I know we sit here and we say, yeah, but a manager would want to go United, but would they? Would they? The only way Ten Hag goes is if Sir Jim comes in and already knows and is already speaking to a manager out of work who he wants to bring in. That's the only way he goes.
Do you think, though, like you mentioned the players, right? And if it is the players, I don't know what you think about this, LB, as a City fan, because if I'm honest with you, as Arsenal City fan, it's hilarious. Well, I'm with LB. I think it's hilarious. I can't lie. I think it's brilliant because I hate Man United. I love you, Dan, but I can't stand Man United, right? So if it was happening at Arsenal, I'd expect you all to be laughing at me, putting him in the mud. But if that's me, I'm thinking, right, okay, I don't care how good you are or how good you think you are, you ain't playing. Bruno, you're a disgrace. See you later. Get rid of him. You need someone in like that, and I don't think Ten Hag's doing that. I think Ten Hag is going, it's the best of a bad bunch. I suppose we'll leave him in. Let's bring Maguire back in. Evans. We are talking about 2023, and Maguire and Evans have been at the back for Man United. We're not talking about 2012 Man United here. They've replaced Chris Smalling and Phil Jones with Maguire and Evans. What the hell is going on at the club? This is how poor it is. And you've got, moving forward, you've got a captain who's, to call him a leader is an embarrassment. I've spoken about Rashford problems. You've got Højlund, who everyone's going, he hasn't scored a goal yet. Feel sorry for the lad. He's been bought for 73 million and he's been given a Ruud van Nistelrooy role in a team that's shocking. You've got Sancho and Anthony, who, let's be real, is a circus act. Nothing more than that. You've got an absolute shambles of a goalkeeper that's been bought in for 50 million, who's not better than David De Gea. Nothing's going right.
Martial's on one. Martial's on two.
Why is he still there, by the way? Martial, he's still there. It's crazy, man.
You know what it is for me though. United's dressing room has been toxic for years. It has been 100%. Toxic. You remember the days when they had like Pogba and Lingard, and there was always rumors of like a dressing room split. You know what I mean? You had some guys doing like Instagram videos after games, and you had the other ones that were hard working or whatever, sitting in the corner, you know what I mean, trying to get on with it. And it's been toxic for so long. And the problem that Ten Hag has, his main issue, is that he doesn't have the respect of the players. And this is the single biggest problem I think he's got, because I think that when he's talking, when the results are going against him, when he's talking, you think the players are listening to him. You think the players are listening to him in training ahead of the game against Bayern Munich tomorrow night, thinking this manager is going to get us the win. They probably just look at him and go, this guy's a clown. And as Dan said, he'll be gone soon. I'll pick up my paycheck. You know, because obviously it's a lot harder to get rid of players on big money than it is to get rid of managers. They have a massive, massive problem. And Dan, speaking about getting rid of some of these players, not always that easy because they give them the big cash.
Tried to get rid of Maguire in the summer, didn't they?
But what he should have done there, though, this is where he's played these cards wrong, Billy. Ten Hag should have said to Maguire, "You're fucking going. Otherwise, you'll be with the reserves and you will not get a single minute. And I will do everything possible to sabotage any hope you've got of playing for Southgate's Euros in the summer." But he didn't. He went, all right, okay. And then what did he say in a press conference? I love Maguire. This was literally a week after he tried to sell him. I love Maguire. He's a great player. It's just not working at the moment. And now he's back into the team. Now, Maguire's not been too bad recently. But this is the problem. He could have got rid of Maguire, could have got rid of McTominay and got some other players in, but he didn't. He was too soft on that. Now, he has handled some other stuff well. I think he handled the Ronaldo situation quite well, although leading up to it, maybe he could have done better there. He handled the Sancho situation absolutely terribly, calling him out after a game when he just lost or drawn. That is not the way to go. And Sancho, United fans will slag Sancho off. Sancho is just chilling right now. He's getting paid all this money. He don't care. He don't care about it. He's probably thinking he's going to leave United anyway. And even if he thinks that there is a chance for him to come back, he's not going to be under Ten Hag because he knows Ten Hag's probably going to get the sack soon. So he has handled stuff terribly wrong. But ultimately, for me, yes, there is a huge problem in that dressing room with the toxicity of the players. And only, in my opinion, a top-level coach who can command the respect of the players and the board. So when he goes to the board and say, no, I need you to get rid of Maguire. And if you don't get rid of him, you don't convince him to leave, then he'll be with the reserves and you'll be paying him 200 grand a week to play with the reserves. Only if you get a manager like that, I think it will succeed. Otherwise.
But LB, who are those managers that United can get?
Difficult, mate. It's difficult. You could look at someone like Zidane. Can you get him in? Probably not. Can you get Simeone out of Atletico Madrid? Probably not. You got to try something though, Dan. The thing that I do not agree with this chain of thought that's going around at the moment of the chain of thought of, oh well, if you've got nothing else better than Ten Hag, you might as well stick with Ten Hag. You're not telling me that in the whole of the world of football, there is not a single person that is better than Ten Hag suited for this job right now.
Give it Giggsy to the end of the season. Give it Giggsy to the end of the season. Give it Giggsy to the end of the season.
Maybe him. But I just don't buy it, Dan. I don't buy this thing of, oh, well, you can't sack him because if you sack him, who are you going to get? There's loads of players out there. This guy's not even playing a proper style. If you really want a manager, a project manager, go and get De Zerbi and play actual football. And people say, yeah, but what about if it don't work? It's not working now with Ten Hag. At least you'll be playing proper football. I just think that some United fans are just sort of accepting that maybe is this United now? Is this the level?
Yeah, I agree with that, LB. There are fans that just accept it. I don't get it. I would be banging down the gates saying, look, it's not going to take long to bang down the gates at Old Trafford, by the way, because the whole stadium's crumbling because they've left it in an absolute mess. It's honestly, it's just a neglect of a football club, in my opinion. I can't believe the fans are actually sticking up for anything to do with the Glazers. Can't believe the amount of fans that are sticking by Ten Hag. I understand it's not just him, but he has not done a good job, in my opinion. I understand that last season they come top 4 and they won a trophy and all this kind of stuff. But for me, you're papering over cracks there. There is some shocking things that he's done in terms of tactically. He's been beaten 7s, 6s, 5s, 4s. They've conceded about 4 or 5 goals a game in the last 10 games. You've conceded at least 3 goals in pretty much every single one. That is terrible, Dan.
Yeah, I know. But the thing is, and what LB's saying is right, and but I think obviously the problem with Ten Hag now is he's gone too far the other way. He's gone too far the other way, and I think what LB says again. I hate agreeing with City fans, obviously, you know that, but it's true. It's true that he hasn't got respect to the players. He probably hasn't got respect to the staff that are there. There's so much unrest, not just with the players, but with the back room. It's just an absolute mess. You know, the whole situation with the Greenwood. I think. See, for me, I think that lost Ten Hag a lot of respect with players there. I do, because he would have took Greenwood back. He wanted Greenwood back. He left it until the very last second when it was filtered out that Greenwood potentially was coming back. The fans all went ballistic. That then it wasn't even him that came out and said we're not taking it back. It was Richard Arnold who then took the L and put the letter out. So it's a mess. But the thing is, and I say this to every Manchester United fan that will listen to me say it, this ain't no quick fix. This isn't going to be fixed in 2 or 3 years. This isn't. This is It is, and I mean this. It's going to get worse. It's going to get worse. Yeah, of course, we may scrape a result here and there, and the fans will go, "We're back, baby, we're back." But this doesn't get fixed in 2 or 3 years. It doesn't, because you need to clear from top to bottom, and that does not happen overnight. It doesn't. We've seen it with other clubs, haven't we? We've seen it with so many clubs that have been in the wilderness for so long and started to come back. It doesn't work that quick.
Yeah, just 2 points to add. First of all, I agree. If I was a United fan, I'd be preparing myself for 15 years without no Premier League, because you're already at a decade. Yeah, I mean, and I don't see with the current structure you've got in place that you're going to be winning a Prem anytime soon. So you're probably going to go 15 years without a Prem, which is wild. 2 other things. One, if this new owner comes in, I'm already seeing rumours and things being leaked that they're going to go for an English approach in terms of signings.
Which we fucking did with Ollie, and how did that get on?
Yeah, you've already done this. And how about just buying the best players for your football club that'll suit your system? That for me is a massive red flag.
Two players, Alvarez, Caicedo. That's who Ralph wanted in that January. Go get them. They're cheap. They're quality. Go get them. The coach, not the coach staff, the scouting staff at United said, no, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. That's where we are. That's where we are. We miss out on these players.
The only other thing I'd say, right, is if I was the new owner, right, because obviously apparently he's going to come in and do the football side. If you want to stick with Ten Hag, there'd be some key points that you got to make clear to him. One, play Ajax-style football, otherwise you're out. Because that is why I don't buy this thing of that's not why he was brought in. Well, why was he brought in? Because he's not won anything other than an Eredivisie. You brought him in on the pedigree of winning an Eredivisie, did you? No, that's BS. You brought him in because he plays a style of football. Play style football or get gone. 2, you're not making another signing as a manager of this football club, because your signings have absolutely stunk the gaff out, and you wasted best part of £500 million on absolute dross and crap. Get control of these players quickly. Otherwise, that will ruin you as a manager, and then take it from there. And they've got to be strict. I feel like United are just sort of coasting along and like Dan speaking before about the fact that they got the Premier League Manager of the Month award, and the players like, oh yeah, great, great stuff. He should have been in that interview saying, "Can't believe I've won this fucking thing." You know what I mean? My team's a disgrace. We're not even in the top 4. We need to improve. Yeah, I mean, I think the United fans need to wake up. Not the United fans, United players and staff need to wake up. I'm looking at the some of the quotes that's come out today from Ten Hag in the press conference. I think, are you on a different planet?
Oh, no, I read them.
Are you on a different planet? Some of the stuff he's saying, it's almost like, do you not understand that when United, obviously, was under Sir Alex Ferguson, he used to win things, Premier Leagues, compete in the Champions League, and some of the stuff he says, it's like, do you know the history of this club? Now, part of that's the problem. United are I'm quite happy to accept, United are such a giant club that the pressure is difficult to deal with. But fuck me, come on. You know what I mean? You got to show a little bit. So, yeah, man, it's hilarious.
Watch at Chelsea's the same, in the same vein. We're a top half club at the moment. Oh, my God. How overrated is he, by the way? I mean, I knew he was, but wow, he's proving to be a worse job than Graham Potter at this stage. I mean, it's embarrassing. They are actually in the mud, Chelsea and Man United as clubs. They're finished at the moment. They need a serious overhaul. It's crazy.
Yeah, we beat them 2-1 last week, and my mate was like, "Oh, we're back." I said, "Did you watch the same game I did? It was 2 absolutely terrible teams battling out. It looked exactly like what it was, a mid-table clash. That's exactly what it looked like. 2 clubs that haven't got a clue where they're going, are still, barking on about past things they've won and thinking that that's going to get them through. It was horrendous, absolutely horrendous." Man.
Where does anyone like Lawless? Where do you see Man United finishing this season? Oh, you're on mute, bro.
I'm saying it's one of them. They always manage to shithouse European finish. So it wouldn't surprise me if they get 6th. I can see it. They'll just do that. They'll just go on a bad run and they'll just get these little odd results just to keep them ticking over, and it will just be just enough. But it will still look like they're in crisis. They're going to get battered against Liverpool. That's a given. But then they've got
your league table predictions are.
We've got them coming up. We've got them actually
after, isn't it? Straight after.
Away. Yeah, we've got them on the 23rd, which will be interesting at home. Saturday 12:30 kickoff. Klopp's favourite. Oh, Errol's not here.
Oh, what a joke that was. It's just he doesn't get the English banter. He's been here 7 years. Don't give me that. When everything was going well for him, he was the
wild.
The banter
Do
king.
not mention Klopp to Errol. Do not say Klopp's name in vain to Errol. He will have you. But yeah, so yeah, we got them. That's going to be very interesting. We got to win that. But then Man United have got Aston Villa at home, and
Boxing
they're
Day. Can't wait. Sat top of the table. Then we go to Old Trafford.
Yeah.
Well, clip that up, Sam. Clip that up, Sam.
Oh, it's time because remember, Billy said he doesn't like the feeling inside when it comes on him. That's what he said on this channel.
I don't.
Yeah, he used those
You
words.
what, Brev?
I beg your pardon.
That
and then
was
you
the
got
best
Forest
quote ever. That.
That's the best. Forest away.
I forgot I said that.
Spurs at home. The next run of results. The next
doesn't matter though, does it, Lawless? Does it? It doesn't matter though because United's season's over, man. Like that, and it should be over based on their own standards. They're going out the Champions League tomorrow by an absolute miracle. They're not going to get top 4 this year. You're out the Carabao. Are you still in the Carabao?
No, right. The Carabao got smacked.
You're out the Carabao Cup
3-0 by Newcastle C team.
Yeah, and then barring another miracle, they're probably not going to win the FA Cup. So when you're a club like that, who has standards. The season's done already. And now that might sound depressing to some fans, or some fans like who maybe support lesser teams will be like, oh, how entitled. But that's just because Man United are used to competing for titles in Champions Leagues. Lawless is talking about getting 6. That's not celebration for Man United. That's a disgrace. That's a crisis. Their club has been in crisis.
Is it, LB? Is it? We've been in this situation for 10 years even. 10, 11
yeah, no,
years.
but they're still in a crisis. But that's what the thing. They've been in a crisis for 10 years. They're in a crisis for a decade.
Crisis. But how long
could be in a crisis for as long as possible.
So look at Everton used to be title winners, right? Them finishing 6th. Is that a crisis? How long can you be in crisis before we just go, this is normal for this football club? Because, errors come to an end, as Ten Hag said. Right?
That's it's a fair point. I think it's different. This is the gargantuan club of Manchester United we're talking about.
Yeah, man.
And fair enough to Everton. They're a huge, huge club. Villa,
billionaire owners.
We're the same. We are still a massive, massive club. We're not Man United size.
Wait, how many league titles have you won? Was you winning league titles on a regular back in the day?
Yeah, we've won many a league title. Can't give you the exact number off the top of my head.
You can't give me the number.
You've won 9. You've won 9 titles.
9 league titles.
Sorry, seven league titles.
Yeah, there we go. Whatever.
All of these 3 gentlemen here, if I ask them,
still got a star on the chest, on the crest. Still got a star on the crest.
Oh, that's a gimmick, mate. We got a star. Do you want a little star? I used to get them in primary school. When I was really good.
That's for winning the European Cup.
I don't believe that, Lawless, for a second, mate.
Yeah, you weren't good at school.
Well, in theory,
Lawless. That's for winning the European Cup.
Well, Lawless, how many leagues have your team won? How many leagues has your team won?
Listen, it depends if you count the championship as a league. I mean, it's a league that's there.
Top division league. Top division league. How many top division leagues has your team won?
Well, we was in a challenge, but we didn't get it over the line. So but that's not beside the point. My point is, obviously Billy's trying to put himself.
What's the number then? Well, just give us a
number.
You know
what I mean? What do you mean?
Why give us a number?
Big fat 0.
We've won less than one league. So
I was looking at your trophy haul. Your trophy haul is piss poor, for a club the size of West Ham.
Oh, fuck off! You bought it all. You bought it all.
They've got the World Cup. Don't forget. They've got the World Cup.
Before we still had quite a lot of trophies. You guys are on 7 trophies in your whole. I'm just saying. I'm not digging you up.
Same amount of league titles as what we've won.
The War Cup.
That's just general.
Less 1-9.
World Cup.
No, the War Cup was the replacement for the FA Cup when the war was going on.
I thought you said the World Cup.
Yeah,
no, the war. Oh no,
they do claim that as well. Don't
they won that definitely.
And we won the FA Cup when it was bigger than the league. So let's have that right.
Yeah, you won 3 FA Cups, 2 League Cups, Cup Winners' Cup, Conference League, Intertoto, and Anglo-Italian League Cup.
War Cup as well.
That's not on it.
Put some respect on the walk up, for fuck's sake.
Yeah,
That's
because
not
that was the only trophy that was available. There was not even a league title was available. So that was basically the league title. We basically won the league during the war because there was no league, there was no FA Cup. That was the replacement. So we won.
You're on 8.
Reaching, man. Reaching here.
We won a trophy when this country was going through its most strenuous. The East End was getting bombed out, right? The East End was getting bombed out, and we still won a trophy, yeah? Manchester weren't getting bombed out, right? North London weren't getting bombed out. Villa weren't getting bombed out, right? So let's not have it. We was going under the worst of conditions, and we won a trophy. That means something, yeah? So let's have it right. Man United have had their time. Let's not say... How long are they going to finish sixth from being a crisis for? We're going to be in 10 years and they're still finishing sixth.
I agree kind of what you're saying.
Yeah, there's just got to be a point.
What's the cut-off point then? What's the cut-off point?
Well, because we had this conversation before about, Arsenal and all of that and their cut-off point. But to me, we've got to start looking at if they haven't won a league title or a major, trophy, surely we've got to be coming up to the cut-off point. Surely it's arriving soon. If they get another manager and they're shit like again, why are we? Because we know what's going to happen. They're fans, and it's not even Dan. Dan's not what I see it, and it's people I'm friends with. They go on this loop every fucking time. Every manager out, gets the manager out. Oh, new manager, yeah. Oh, the manager's the man. He's the one for the job. Gets all hyped up. Go on a run in losses. Manager out. Never looking at the wider picture.
Facts.
I'm just saying it's normal.
Do you not think they're in a crisis anymore?
I just think.
Do you think this is just them?
I think this is their reality because when you finish around these places, yeah, okay, they can have this little spurt where they finish third, but then when was the last time they actually challenged, like seriously challenged? Even when they finished second, and then we said this, that wasn't a challenge. So when are we ever looking at them as a top contender? When does everyone go into the season and go, Man United, they're gonna? So I just feel like it's not that, like to be sixth for Man United right now isn't yeah, of course it's a bad result. And we can mock them for it because their fans have big, ideas because they supported their club at the peak. Like that stat, they've had more losses since Fergie left than Ferguson's entire 26-year run. It's funny to mock them, but sixth place for Man United, to me, that's not a crisis. It's underachieving. Is it a crisis? Is it?
You know what worry is, Lawless? Every week last season, I used to say, "Why is Lawless on this show? Why is Lawless on this show?" It's getting dangerously close, isn't it?
Yeah,
a couple of losses. We're in mid-table, and then I'm sat there answering to people on here. Oh, we're here because of this. We're here because of that, and that's where we are. Do
you think more is being made out of Man United being sixth than Chelsea in fucking 12th or something? Because it just seems to me like that is the bigger focus. Is that it seems like more of a crisis, and we're looking at Chelsea that are bottom half of the table, 12th place, but it's Man United.
You know what it is with Chelsea? I think Chelsea people are just like people just don't care anymore. Like, you know what I mean? Like they just last year they finished 12th, 11th. Now they're 12th, 11th. It's just like you got Pochettino coming out saying they're a mid-table side or whatever. It's just kind of like they don't have a decent striker, they don't have a good goalkeeper. They bought all these young players. It's just sort of like
it's actually embarrassing. That's what it is, Chelsea. Yeah. Chelsea are an embarrassing club right now. They've spent £1 billion and look at the state of them. They've got the manager in because he's great with young players. What evidence is there to suggest that Pochettino is actually good with young players? Name me more than 6 that he's coached that you thought, wow, look at this, look at him, turn around in him. Go on, name me 6 players that Pochettino's turned around the age of 18 to 25. Do it. You can't. Harry Kane, Dele Alli, then it stops. And look at the state of Dele Alli now. So honestly, I think he's really, really, really poor job he's doing at Chelsea. And I think you're right, LB. I think people are looking at Chelsea going, yeah, whatever. But why? Man United are 6th in the league, and they've been a shambles. Chelsea are down in the proper 12th, not proper Chelsea. I tell you, it's absolutely shocking. That's how bad they are.
Man United need a complete rebuild, and that rebuild isn't we're rebuilding and we're gonna go back. It's just start again. And then just try and build up and try and get a better manager and come back with the rest of us that are clawing the West Hams, the Brightons, the Villas that are trying to claw themselves up. And if you can get to that point where you get it and maybe get yourself back to where you were. But it's not a quick fix. It's not a get a new manager in, sign a couple of quality players, and then we're there. Like that's what they think they've needed, and they've tried to do it.
It's not a couple of players.
It's a complete overhaul, man. It's a complete overhaul.
Listen, long.
Listen, we're gonna wrap it up. I want to ask Lawless one last question before we do go. Can you name me the 6 teams that are finishing above West Ham, please?
Oh, for you! How many times are you gonna make me answer?
I just want you to tell me. It's just that you keep saying 7th. You've not said you're not. So obviously West Ham are 7th. We know, all of us know that. But who's coming ahead of you? What 6 teams?
So wait a minute. The last time I heard Lawless give one of these, Villa weren't in it.
Yeah,
so
Villa were 9th. Villa were 9th. So I just want to hear.
I'm very interested now, Lawless.
That's why I've asked it.
Or so you've had a
Villa are 8th now. Villa are 8th. Obviously, they've got the deep levels of the Europa Conference League to go in, the real nitty gritty stages that could have an impact on them. I don't expect Villa to be hitting these levels as the season goes on. Fatigue and tiredness is going to come. I expect them to dip. I'm not changing my.
So Man City are winning it. Liverpool are 2nd. Tottenham are 3rd. Arsenal are 4th.
Yeah.
Manchester United are 5th.
Did I have them 5th?
Sorry, Newcastle 5th. You said Manchester United 6th and West Ham 7th.
I'm going to stick with that.
Villa
because
Lawless,
listen,
your hand off at that.
By your own admission, Billy, you said, "Oh, it's December, so I'm not going to stick my chest out. I'm not going to talk about."
No, I'm not going to say we're title contenders. I think we're there for the Champions League.
So are you getting Champions League this season, Billy? Wait a minute.
We are contenders for the Champions League, is what I'll say.
I know. Tell me right now, and I don't want to hear if. I don't want to hear maybe. I don't want to hear. I hope. I want a yes or no. Are Villa getting top 4 this season?
We can.
Look at this coward. What
do you want me to say? I'm not going to say yes or no because there's a lot of football still to be played. We can get top 4 this season. There's a lot of football still to be played.
Yeah,
66% of the season still to go.
Chelsea can get top 4 this season if they win enough games. Well, will you though? That's the question. They won't. Will you?
I think we can.
This is see.
This is Pete Mark 2. This is Pete Mark 2, isn't it?
We can.
I think they will. I said last week. I think someone asked a question. I think Villa can do it. I think so long as you don't balls it up in these next couple of games because you've got an easy run now. So long as you don't balls it up, I think you can do it, man. I think you can. I don't see why not.
I'm just saying. I think it was a great win against Arsenal. But I saw a lot I didn't like. I'm just going to say that.
What did you not? What did you like?
Sloppy on the ball, misplaced passes, all of that sort of thing. Gave the ball away way too cheaply.
I think that's harsh. I think that's.
I don't like that. Do you like that? Did you like that, LB?
I think you've been well harsh there.
To be perfectly honest with you, I think it's quite a fair thing to say. I thought we were sloppy at times. However,
all teams are sloppy.
However, I would like to see another team dominate Man City off the pitch and then have Arsenal 3 days later and see how they go.
You can dominate him off the pitch. It's what you do on the pitch that counts, mate.
Dominating me.
Yeah, and we got 6 points from 2 games.
You know, it's not that type of show, man. It's not that type of show, man.
Well, listen, I've actually got my top 6 in front of me. Man City to win it, Arsenal 2nd, Liverpool 3rd, and I've got Newcastle 4th, Spurs 5th, Villa 6th. That's what I said back then. It could be Villa outclassing Newcastle.
You tell me, since Billy won't put his chest out, you tell me, Potts, are Villa getting top 4?
I think they will get Champions League football through the top 5. So I think they will get 5th place. I'm still going to go Newcastle 4th.
They're finishing.
I still go Newcastle 4th, and I'll put Villa 5th ahead of Spurs because Spurs, I said it, their squad, man, it's just depleted, isn't it?
Newcastle are what, 9 points behind though?
Yeah, I think Newcastle get players back and they'll be fine. Honestly, I do.
But Spurs won't get
players
back.
Wrong way to go.
Spurs won't do that though.
Nah, I don't know. Spurs, because I just feel like Spurs, they'll get players back and then a couple more go out and they'll collapse again. I don't think Spurs is good enough, man. Yeah, exactly. But we're not talking about Arsenal winning the league. We're talking about Spurs getting Champions League. Villa, I think will be great this season. And I've got nothing against Villa, so I don't care if they do. As long as West Ham don't
very,
do it, I don't
very
care.
much the opposite. Very much the opposite, isn't it?
Now, Villa should finish 4th place. Villa should. With what is going on at the moment, they've got the squad and the manager to do it. They've got the best manager outside of Pep and Klopp. So they should do it, man. They should.
Yeah, listen, exactly. Rugby's right. All the predictions. Let's see what January brings. January's going to be...
Yeah, that's facts. January's going to change a lot. January's going to change a lot.
Just a quick one with January as well. We don't have any players going to AFCON or the Asia Cup.
Facts.
Which is another thing. So...
Yeah,
well, we'll see. We'll see. And I expect us to strengthen and improve as well.
The ones that we got going are the ones that were already out, always out anyway. El Neni, Party, and Tomiyasu.
West Ham,
they're leaving. They're always fit. They're never bloody fit anyway. Crazy.
Yeah. We give opportunities to African players. We don't discriminate.
Come on.
We don't discriminate against anyone because they're from Africa. We've got
what is going on here? What is that?
I mean, we're not Villa. We're not Man City. If you're African, you're welcome at West Ham United.
Absolutely crazy. We'll end it there. Big up, people. Big up, chat. Make sure you do us a favor. Smash a like on this one. Subscribe. We had well over 600 of you at one point. It's brilliant numbers. So thank you all for being here. Make sure you head over to Billy at Total Screamers. Make sure you head over to LB at XLB. Go to United Fan if you can. And of course, go to West Ham Fan TV and at the Lawless to follow Lawless. We will see you back here, throughout the week, really. Tomorrow night, Wednesday night, we'll see you there. Take it easy. This show will be back next week, as always. Take care. See you all next time. Latest, people. Peace.